Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Couple messages and that been coming through. What's been going on? They're saying, well, go on. Saying, where's the man then? I said, yo, man, we're here, man.
Come on, Kit Kat, needed a break, man. Shit.
Yeah, man. You know, unfortunate situations, but, you know, we're here. Always. In spirit. How's everyone doing now? Little mental check.
We're there.
Good? What? Like, hold on 1 second. Let's just paint the picture right now. It's torrential rain right now.
Is
Poet is outside, half summer, half winter.
Because you never know what's going to happen in life.
Up.
You got to mix it up and you got to be prepared for all climates. So if I take a picture now halfway up, it looks like I was ready for that.
Yes!
And if I take a picture because the sun's out, all of a sudden, right now,
different.
I'm Will Smith summertime.
Strongly.
Only from that point, not moving forward, he done too much questionable stuff.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, they were there.
So what happens if it actually does become sunny outside? What do you do with the big old jacket there?
What you do is you hold it over your shoulder on some cool thing. And when people say, is that bothering you? You just go, nah, I'm cool, man, I'm cool. And you're just hoping that the evening time it is cold. So you can say, I told you, man. I told you, man, it was getting cold. You just feel like, you know, bragging rights is important as a football fan.
It gets nippy.
Chuckie.
Yes, my G.
When do you actually separate from someone that you've broken up with? Why is this period, where you go back and forth and it's like...
You know I love this.
I said it's over, you said it's over, but a week later, we're eating food at number 5. This doesn't feel right, Chuckie. Right. Give me an answer.
And when you do the phone call, the FaceTime, you can see bed sheets. Anyway, let's move on.
Do you know where I'm coming from? I'm glad that you brought that up. Don't worry, Chuckie. I like that you say bed sheet. These things just... Why?
You know what? Separation is... When you're with somebody for a long period of time, or you're in a situation, you get comfortable with each other and you find a routine, it's always very difficult to break away from the routine. It's always difficult to break away from the routine. And I think that, like... The interesting thing with us is we adapt very quickly, yeah?
When you say we, do you mean...
Humans.
Okay.
We adapt very quickly, yeah? But sometimes we forget that we can adapt. So when you get into a routine and something feels comfortable and you find yourself, it's difficult to detach from it, you forget that when you do detach, you will adapt to the new surrounding.
100.
But you feel like in this moment, this is like you can't really do it. There's a routine, there's a connection there. It's just hard to break away.
So can I ask you a question? Why do we find comfort in discomfort?
Boy, I can't say that's been my story. I've only had that story one time.
So
and
what was the
story? You know what? I will tell the story,
yeah.
But this will be the one time I tell a story that is a bit new. Because usually I keep my story, I usually go in the chamber and dig out the story.
Yeah, you got to... But I just find that interesting because what you said is routine. So which means that when you're in a situation with someone and then you clock, this ain't really the thing. Why do we maintain the routine? That's discomfort. But we're comfortable to maintain
because
the discomfort.
You still find comfort within the discomfort.
So there is some balance in it.
There's not balance. I wouldn't necessarily say it's balance. You're suppressing. You're suppressing. Because you know that it is if you address the situation at hand, that's the uncomfortable bit.
The change was too drastic.
Yeah, you don't even want to address that part now. You've had that, you've already addressed it. You both understand that right now, this is not really supposed to be the thing or whatnot. You are like magnets, so you latch on again, but you latch on again without addressing anything. Because you know, if you address it, it's going to become awkward again. There's going to be some separation, and although you know it is necessary, you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be that way. But the longer you do that, the longer you are blocking your own blessing, and the harder it becomes. And on top of that, you know what? You put yourself in a situation where you can become more vulnerable. Because what does happen is, you both know, for whatever reason, and you'll have your reasons, we had ours, yeah, for why this can't be a thing. So because of that now... When
you say we, can you make it clear that you're talking about you and a female outside
I'm talking about me, yeah.
And a girl outside this room. Because when you say we, if you just caught onto the podcast...
I'm talking about me and a girl, or you and whoever it could be.
Thank you, that feels right.
So, me and this particular person know that this can't be a thing, yeah? Here's where we're vulnerable now. We latch together like magnets, right?
Yeah.
However, whether we're conscious of this at the time or it's a subconscious thought, we're not all in.
We're not all in.
We're not all in. And this is where the vulnerability comes, yeah? And sometimes it's good to be vulnerable in a relationship anyway, but that's a different conversation and it's a different type of vulnerability. This vulnerability is a dangerous one because you're not all in. So because you're not all in, anything could come in this situation here and technically it could be okay, but it's going to hurt you or it's going to hurt them. So to be more specific, it's like, for me, I'm with so-and-so, we've had this conversation, we keep latching together because this part is good. Although we know that this bit here is shaky and the shaky part is the fundamental element of why we can't even really be together. Cool though, boom, but we're not all in. Now, when I'm outside and we're not together, I can still technically
chat to someone because it feels...
you get what I'm saying? And maybe I could meet a situation that is exceptional or something that is really, do you get what I'm saying? And now there's a conversation to be had now because I actually really gravitate into this person. However, I'm still holding on to this. So now, once I let go of this now, I'm going to hurt feelings even more so because we didn't let go of this at the time that we could have done.
And it would have been easier.
I held on to you until I found somebody else.
That's wrong. That evasive part of situations is wrong, and I'm sorry. But that part's wrong.
Right, and so imagine, we know that is wrong doing it. When it happens to you,
oh my God,
it feels crazy. This is why when I do get to that part where it is like this, I have to be, for me, and I've said this a few times before, I have to be out of sight, out of mind for a temporary period of time. I have to be. Because I know, I know how I am. Look, one thing that I used to be, I never used to admit at one point, and one of the reasons why I never used to admit is because people used to always attach it to star signs and I hated it. And I still don't even like that. Because people still always do that. Like, if you say you have a personality trait and they say, well, you must be Leo. It's like,
my cousin's a Leo. He does it all the time. Big man, I don't know your cousin.
Right. Yes, exactly. I'm sensitive. I'm a sensitive person.
Yeah.
Some people will say, oh, you're a Cancerian, sensitive. Fuck that. We all have sensitivity. Yeah.
Chat to them.
Right. But
I like this.
Here's my thing. With me being sensitive, you won't see my sensitivity in behavior. I'm not going to move mad. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z and do all of that type of stuff. There's not a woman who's going to be able... There's not a woman right now that could turn around and say, Chucks was moving so mad. Or had to look at the phone and be like, oh, for fuck's sake, this guy. Because I'll keep it in here and I'll just talk to my friends about it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll ring Ben, I'll ring Poet, I'll ring Wesley, we sit down and we have these powerful conversations and I can then regulate my thought process. But I will offload that with you and I will have a conversation with them if the time presents itself. Yeah. Why? But yeah, I will do that if the time presents itself, but I'm not gonna think because I know when I'm in that sensitivity, although I'm as cool as a cucumber, bro, my insides and my mind is going crazy.
Do you know what? More that we're speaking, I'm realizing.
So it has to be out of sight, out of mind for a little while until I can be okay.
And that's probably the best way to deal with it, That's the best way to deal with it. Because the more that you were speaking, the more I was realizing. I was just trying to figure out, Chuckie's making so much sense. So why do people stay there? And maybe it's like the same thing with religion. It's just a bit of hope.
It's exactly that. It's hope. It's a hope that at some point something's gonna change
and go the way you want.
And sometimes it does. Sometimes it does.
Do you think in some cases, actually you can't really say in most cases. It's just so general. How would you know? But in most cases, I've experienced that hope is selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But selfish to the detriment of everyone. Sometimes they're selfish to the benefit of everyone. And sometimes they're selfish to the detriment of everyone. That's why I'm like, why do people find hope and comfort in discomfort? Like when the situation clearly shows that this isn't somewhere we should be.
Well, you are already in your selfishness if you have identified that this isn't for the both of you, but you are participating in keeping it together.
And that becomes toxic.
Right then.
It's all making sense right now. This is crazy.
Somebody has to at some point say, you know what? There needs to be some time apart. And you know what? Hopefully, you want to hope that in that time apart, maybe a dot connects back somewhere and, you know, you come back together and you're in a better space, because sometimes that does happen. Sometimes the reason for why you thought it wasn't going to work out was all in your head.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Circumstances as well sometimes.
It could be all of that, but sometimes it isn't that. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you just need a little bit of time apart to understand that, hold on 1 second, this grass isn't necessarily greener. It's not necessarily that. And also, maybe at this particular time, you weren't ready for that. But, go on.
I was going to say, saying you're hopeful that the situation change assumes that there is a tiny bit of ignorance in you, which doesn't mean you're selfish. But if there's a fear of being alone, then you're being selfish.
No, but I say selfish from the standpoint of, because I hear where you're coming from, but sometimes I look at somebody and I'm like, in this point of your life, you choose to take your glasses off. With everything else, your glasses on and you can see clear. But over here, you choose to play Stevie Wonder. It's a conscious decision out of hope. Now, so the semantics of it, maybe there might be ignorance in it. But the decision to place yourself in a place of ignorance is hope. So therefore, for me, not all the time, you're right, but in some cases it's selfish. I can speak from experience. I can say I'm going to walk into a situation not knowing what it's going to be, but big man, it feels right now, I'm going to do it. That is completely selfish. I've not done a risk assessment. I've not done anything. And then when I'm in it and all the emotional things are happening to me, I can say the actual process, I was not aware this was how bad it was going to be, but I knew it was going to be bad. So it is still a sense of selfishness to a certain extent. Like I said, to the detriment of everyone due to a feeling. This feels good. How many times have we gone back to gal because it felt good in the bedroom?
Oh, of course.
But we know this is bad.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
Because, I mean, that feeling good sometimes is very temporary. It's a temporary feeling. And everyone has to always ask themselves, what is the thing that feels good? And how important is that thing?
The value on it is so important.
Yeah.
And you know one thing as well about relationships, yeah? The reasons why I think a lot of them don't work is because we're not valuing the same things. So, and that's all across the board. So like if me and Chuckie are able to have a good friendship based upon we value similar things. Maybe all of the things we don't value, but our core values are quite similar. And then outside of that, we value similar things. It's the reasons why we can have conversation. And then beyond that, if I do something wrong, Chuckie can go, yo, I know you to be this person. You've done this. Why has this happened? So he's telling me my values with, oh, sugar, I shouldn't have done that. I think a lot of relationships are based upon selfishness. I like this about you, and forget the rest. I just like that part. So I hope the rest changes. Without taking in consideration the whole picture and saying, not all of it's going to change, some of it's bad. So you cling on to hope and then you have kids. No, I'm joking.
There you go.
I'm joking. I love Zionacally. I love them all. They're all great.
But here's a situation that I was in, yeah? So I'm not going to give too much details, but I'll give enough. Yeah?
Oh!
I'll give enough. But
a bit of room.
I was in a situation with somebody, yeah, that I really liked. But we had a fundamental life difference in how we saw certain things. Nah, it wasn't religion. It was it was something else. Yeah, it was something else.
We'll get to it.
We've spoken about it already. As soon as I tell you, you'll know.
Okay.
But we had a fundamental life difference. Yeah, and that sparked really good conversations. We had a lot of good conversations about this difference or whatever. Yeah, and it was a tricky one because it was like, you know, I'm saying to her, what is the thing that keeps us together when we're apart? The thing that will keep us together if I'm over there on one side of the world and you're on the other side of the world, yeah, for a moment, like what is the one thing that will keep us together? The one thing, or one of the things that would keep us together is having the same common goal. If we are both planning on going in this direction together, then when you're over this side and I'm over that side, we understand the assignment. When we come back, you get what I'm saying?
We're just taking different routes.
Exactly.
I like that. It's not a problem.
But for now, though, if we have a big fundamental difference, yeah, and I'm over here and you're over there, we're not all in. So anything can happen now. It's shaky. That was, a nutshell of the conversation. Boom. Anyway, that ended up being that, yeah. However, now, magnet thing.
Oh no!
Back again.
Now you're back.
And I will never forget. Actually, one day.
Back again. Shout out, troops.
one day I was at I was with my one of my best mates. He's artist at a show or whatever. Yeah, so I've gone to the show and whatnot. But I remember leaving the house thinking, even though I hadn't spoken to her for a few days, we were in a routine. So now we've had a series of conversations, and now for the first time we ain't spoken for a minute. But I still left my house thinking there's a possibility I could get a text or there could be something. Yeah. Gone to the show now. Boom, 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 boom. Alert. It's her. Couple text messages. Boom, bang, bing, boom, bang, bing, boom, bang. We say, where are you? I'm at my yard. It's already right. I'm already ready. Let me go down there. You get what I'm saying? It feels right.
Comfort in discomfort. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. Let me go and get there and go get some temporary comfort. So I've gone down there. Then we've like canoodled and vibed, and you get what I'm saying. But now it's like constant magnet thing. We're back to texting. We're back to it's just kind of normal, yeah. The life started to change, COVID, all kinds of things happening. And also I was having an unfortunate situation happening in my household, yeah. So at that time, I think selfishly, I needed companionship. I needed it. I wasn't thinking like this at the time. I wasn't thinking in my head, I need companionship.
This is hindsight.
Yeah, this is all hindsight. At the time, with the world's changing, this is happening, whatever, we're just on this magnet thing. Yeah, and I'm just on that. Man. And I'm on that.
Magnifying the dog. Right, come on.
Exactly. But then, occasionally she would mention, like when I'm leaving, it would be like, but what is it? Like, what are we doing here? Boom, 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 boom. And I'm not really saying anything because I don't want it to, I just don't want this to end right now.
So what are you doing right now? He's working in the chippy. Selfish.
Yeah, right. So anyway, to cut a long story short, yeah, something had happened where she had noticed something and it was innocent. It was super innocent, and she's brought it to me. She's like, yo, what is this about? I said to her, I looked at it and I thought, I know how this looks, but I'm just letting you know, this is absolutely nothing. She comes back 5 minutes later, but this looks weird though. She showed me a next thing. So when she showed me the next thing, I'm like, admittedly, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this does look mad. This looks mad. But it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing, but I could see why she would feel this was something, yeah? I'm telling her it's nothing. I'm explaining it to her, whatever else, yeah? She's just cut me off. So now I'm going crazy inside. I'm sensitive, but one thing I'm not going to, because I hit her a couple of times or whatever, she didn't hit me back. Now, the one thing that I wanted to do was constantly ring the phone. I wanted to pull up to the yard. I wanted to message. I wanted to clear it because I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. And I checked for her and I didn't want her to feel this way. And also on top of that, the companionship, the magnet thing.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying?
Magnifier, I hate you.
But I didn't do that. I just suppressed that and spoke to my friends. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of my close friends said to me, he said, when I explained to him the whole thing, he said, Chucks, it's not about that. He said, it's not what she brought to you. She's not doing it because of that. You two have had this conversation months ago, nearly half a year ago, yeah? And you've stayed doing this magnet thing and it's kept coming up and whatever. And she's asked you a few times, what is it going to be, whatever. Now, what's happened is she's needed something. She needs something to break away from you. And you just have to allow her to have that. Allow her to be in that space. She'll get over that. And at some point you'll come back and have a conversation. But you have to just leave her with that. It's not about this. It's about from before. And when he told me that, I thought, you know what? I hear it. So 3 weeks later, bear in mind, I'm so used to speaking to her. Yeah, she's all gone on holidays. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at some of the holiday. After a while, I had to do muting. So I can't even look at some of that. Anyway, when we spoke on the phone, she reiterated exactly what my pal said. She said, look, it wasn't even about that. I needed something to have the space to just be able to just think clearly and so that I could move forward. You know what I mean? And it was difficult, but I was like, I understand it. I hear it. We had a conversation and done all of that type of stuff. And then again, immediately, because it was then certified, I didn't want to create the magnet thing again. I had to respect where she was coming from with this. And for that, I had to do the out of sight, out of mind thing. I just did muting, deleted things. So like when I'm in WhatsApp and that, I'm not seeing no face. I'm not seeing no nothing. Let me just carry on with my thing. But it's open though. If she ever felt like she wanted to contact me and chat, we'd talk normally. And I'm still, again, I'm quite strategic at certain things because I'm sensitive. I'm not going to ask certain questions where I'm going to get an answer that is going to mash up man's day. I'll be honest. I'm going to be more like, ask, like, just how are you? But I don't want to know about, I'm not going to ask about this and that and this because I know that in my sensitivity, you're going to tell me something, I'm going to think about it way too much. It's going to be something that isn't even. It's going to mash up my whole day. It's going to make me do something I don't even want to do. Like going and having sex with another girl. I don't even want to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we do that. We sometimes say, you know what, yeah? In the pursuit of getting over somebody, let me go and chop this. Bro,
I used to do that
I'm telling people, yeah, I'll tell you now, sometimes it's the worst thing you can do.
It's the emptiness, man. It's the emptiness. It's the searching for something, for answers, and you're not getting any clarity. And I've always said to people, the 3 C's definitely align. If you are confused, you need clarity, otherwise there will be conflict. They always align with each other. So the moment someone's confused, I always just want to just give them some clarity. Because once we get to the conflict... You can add another
C to this as well.
Go on.
It's not going to change when you come.
I mean, it has... That's about 5 C's now. I mean, I can't confirm what Chuckie's saying. That's a 6 C. Purely because I've seen it go different for me.
Okay.
Sometimes I've seen even clearer. That's another C.
Yeah,
So, nah, man, it's crazy because you know what? Even in this conversation, you're kind of unpacking the way a toxic relationship can be built.
Yes.
Is when 2 people are falling into the habit and no one's understanding the responsibility of a relationship. Like separating is part of the responsibility of a relationship. Knowing when it has to end and go in your separate ways. And if no one takes on the responsibility, then I believe that relationship becomes toxic. Once it becomes toxic, it's just a Spider-Man photo. You're pointing at each other. You done this, but you done this, but you done that, because you've just overlooked the things that you know that should separate you, focused on the things that, you know, that you like when you're together, but realizing that that's just small aspects of a relationship. If a relationship has 7 things and you're focusing on 3, the time when you can't focus on 3 and you got to focus on the other 4, that's when you're going to find out how much you should be in this relationship.
Yeah.
And take that from a man that used to love raving, love being outside, and that was the person I'm with. The moment the dynamic of it changed and you got stronger responsibilities, you start seeing sides to that person that you never saw before. Now, if you stay there, I mean, the sex is great.
That's what usually keeps people though.
Because there's so much emotion involved in it. Like you're angry, you're happy with it. There's so much involved in that process. My G, the experience is like no other.
Yeah, but then also there's another element.
So I advise toxic relationship. I'm joking.
There's also another element of it is where neither of you want anyone else to have it.
Of course not. Because you're territorial.
She don't want someone else to experience that, and you don't want someone else to experience this. So that's the next thing.
But then I can enlighten people and let them know there is another upgrade to this toxic. What's the word? Toxicity. Yeah, there's an upgrade to that as well, and it's when you take away the den, when you take away the territorial aspect of it, when you just go, we're on planet Earth, man. Who cares?
Yeah.
Once you're there, the toxic aspect of it only belongs to the other person, but they throw it at you like it's your problem. It's not my problem. I accept you're a beautiful girl. I love time with you, but do not believe you're only having sex with me. That will annoy me. That will give me a responsibility that I haven't signed up for. Go out and get butt wild, do your thing, enjoy it. And when you're with me, we enjoy it. You can even tell me about it, as crazy as it sounds. I am not emotionally attached in that capacity. That is when you've excelled past that toxic state. And really and truly, you don't believe you own anything apart from yourself. And as long as you're taken care of...
It's a good place to be if you can get there, but it's a rarity.
It's not a great place to be in the simple fact that, like, if I don't talk to a girl for 5 days, I feel nothing. I promise you, I feel nothing, and it's not a disrespect. If you tell me, I might go, oh, sugar man, I haven't spoken to you. How are you? And so on and so forth. And it might get, but in terms of the process of like days going by, cause I'm just living, bruv. Like, and I'm not thinking
But what's the
anything
context
negative.
though? Is it just a girl or is it somebody that
It
you
could
had
be
something with?
Anything.
So
That's
even
the
if you-
upgrade
even
of
if
the toxic tick. I'm telling you, you could be with someone and proper care about them. And I'm not saying this is great, people. I'm just saying this is the honest to God truth. Like, my ex, for example. If my brethren told me he done something over there, fantastic. Let me know, man. How did you... I genuinely don't have an emotional attachment to it. To the point where, like, it's getting bad.
What if somebody you know that chops...
I would encourage them. I don't care.
What, chop somebody that you was in a thing
I
with?
don't care. I know, and I even tested it out because I thought maybe I'm going crazy. Bro, I am crazy, but just not that crazy. I'm on the... It's got nothing to do with me vibe. Like, and I don't know whether that is... The toxic trait has, because of all of the bad things that have happened, I'm here, and maybe I might change. I don't know, but I can definitely tell you the upgrade from the toxicity is just literally, Chuckie, we're just having a good time, baby girl. If you don't enjoy it and you don't like it no more, we could have been seeing each other 4 months, and I can like you. But saying goodbye is not difficult. Take care, man. Oh, I see you're on a gram with someone else. I might even like the picture. I'm telling you, I genuinely...
Okay, so this is why this is interesting. I'll tell you why.
Is it making sense? Am I making sense?
I'll tell you why. One, because it's interesting because I think for me personally, if I find out that if I was in something with somebody, yeah, and then we're in that breakaway period or whatever, and then I find out that there's somebody that I know that has chopped, that will just make it 10 times easier for me to just disconnect from the whole situation. Easy. Because I'm like, all right, cool. You're I know for a fact you're doing your thing. Also, you've done it close to home. I'm good now, and it makes it a lot more easier for me to deal with. But going back of what you said, yeah, if it is so easy, why do you find it so difficult in the magnet stage?
No, I used to find it difficult. I really did used to find it difficult, and I think I play off it for purposes of content to have a laugh. But if you're asking me seriously, man to man, Paul, wagwan, my guy, I don't find it difficult. Because I don't find it difficult, everyone contacts me. And this is not even me being angry, I swear to God. I'm just chilling in my yard.
Yeah,
all the man them can tell you, I don't do anything these days too out of the range. Man's going work, chilling in my yard, checking my mum, checking my sister.
Yeah,
I keep
true.
it mad simple. So I don't do anything to say, come over here. But big man, Sunday in my yard was crazy.
Yeah.
So there's all 15 people and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and Chuckie's dance was mad and that's another story. But you know what I'm saying, Chuck? I don't ask for this to happen. I'm very grateful it happens, but we're just living.
So would you say, that you have not been in a situation where you've been in a magnet thing and not found it difficult to separate yourself from it?
No, of course. Recently I have, I reckon. I would say in the past maybe year. But then after that, I thought it was something it wasn't. And then when something else happened, I didn't care. But then I behaved like I should care. But then I got angry. I was like, Paul, look, like, forget how you feel when you hear the information. Take a look at your behavior day to day and everything. This is actually ego. You genuinely don't care. And I was like, rah, oh, lit. I just don't care.
Yeah.
And I want to care. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
But Chuckie, trust me, the next the upgrade, I'm telling you, it's a great life though. It's stress-free. You lay your head on your pillow and you feel great. You're cheating on everyone, but no one can't tell you nothing. It's such an amazing feeling. Yeah. Whereas other people, they have this emotional attachment where they feel the lady like owes them something. I don't feel like that. You don't owe me nothing apart from your time when you're with me.
Yeah.
And when you're not with me, baby girl, go butt wild. Don't come back here expecting more. You go mad over there, come back and chill, man.
Yeah.
Look at Monopoly.
Here's where I feel powerful at times, yeah?
Yeah.
Is because I'm of that same thing. Just all I need you to do is just be yourself.
Come on.
We'll figure the rest out.
Yeah.
Now here's this.
What would that plan?
Now hear this though. You're more like if we don't have something solid here, even if we do, you're more entitled to do whatever it is that you want to do. And I'm not going to stop you. I'm not here to change anything. I'm not here to do any of that. One thing that I will do though is if you ask me or we're having a conversation about it, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I never used to do that. I would tell parts of how I feel. Now I will say, so like it's not hard for me to say to a girl, you know what, yeah? If they said to me, I did X, Y, and Z or whatever, how do you feel about that? If I felt away, I'd say that makes me feel away. I'm not telling you not to do it though, but I'm letting you know that like, if I did hear that or if this did happen or whatever, this is how this would make me feel. This is how I feel today. How do you feel? How does this make you feel? Like, let's have them honest conversations about that, because in that way, we can then figure out how we can move with each other. And also we can figure out whether we are even supposed to be together anyway. I just don't want it to be from the point of me saying something and you feeling like you have to change something. You don't have to do any of that.
And now watch this. I like where you're going with this. This is why I know I'm a maniac. If you say to me, I'm the only person you're seeing, and then you're like, I'm just seeing you. Cool. And then I find out you're lying. I'm not upset that you've seen somebody else. I'm upset you lied.
Right.
Who do you think you are lying to me, my G? You don't need to lie to me. We could have spoken about it. But you've lied to me to try and, I don't know, do what? So because I think you're a liar, I will change the dynamic of it. Certain privileges you're no longer allowed to have. It's not an emotional attachment thing. It's I don't know what you're capable of anymore because you're a liar. You lied about something that I've openly showed you. You don't have to lie about it. But you want me to view you a particular way, and so the situation can go a particular way. But I don't know how you want me to view you, and I don't know where you want it to go. But I know I want an open field where everyone's free. You don't feel like you should be here. Take yourself out of the Garden of Eden, and when you fix up, you can eat the apple again. Sure. One love.
So, a lady said to me one time, I was building something with her, and she said to me, casually when we was in the car, she was like, if we're just doing our thing sort of thing. She mentioned that like, if you were seeing someone else and I just found out you were seeing someone else, like I wouldn't really feel a way about it or whatever. And then that was that. And then I was honest. I said, because we're not together. Yeah. And I said to her, I understand we're not together, but in the direction in which we're going, if I did find out that you was seeing somebody else, I would feel a way about that. I would feel a way about that.
Serious?
I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do it though, because we ain't together. But if I did, like, we're talking all the time, we're going out, we're doing dinners, we're whatever. And in my mind, it's like, in my mind now, and
you positioned yourself for that.
This shouldn't be, you shouldn't be doing this because I'm doing this. I'm just doing this because this is how I feel. I'm positioning myself in a way now where we're moving in a certain direction, and I'm thinking that we're aligning in that. But if you're also doing this with somebody else, which you're entitled to do, because I haven't said to you, babes, I want you to be my girl right now. We haven't had that conversation. But if I found out that you was doing this with somebody else, yeah, I'd feel a way about that. And I said it, yeah.
But why would you feel away? What's the part that makes you feel away?
I think the part that would make me feel away would be the fact that like, I thought that we were aligned in something in our actions.
So who are you feeling away with then? Because you keep saying I. So who do you feel away with?
I'd feel away about the situation. So if she was with, if I found that she was doing the same stuff with somebody else or whatever, at this point, I'd feel away about this situation that we're in. Because to me, it's like, again, everyone sees things very differently, yeah? But usually, when I find, this is me, I'm internalizing this now, yeah? When I'm moving in a direction with a girl, yeah, and I'm really tapping in, bro, she's like the only girl in the room right now. Because I'm like, all I want to do is really chat to her. All I really want to do is go dinner with her. All I really want to do is share this experience with her or whatever, yeah? So if I find myself there, but then I find out, and it feels as though she's there with me, and I find out that she isn't, she's with somebody else, I would feel away. But again, no.
That is a genuinely nice person.
But again, no. Hold on, listen. Let me finish, though.
That
isn't about me saying that she should be.
No.
I'm not saying that she should be, and I'm not saying that she should stop doing that.
Yeah, you're saying how I feel.
I'm just saying, you know what? If I found out that these experiences that we're doing, that you're also doing these experiences with somebody else at this point, it would make me feel away.
Now, this is why I know I'm a psychopath. Sorry to cut you. Do you know what would make me feel away in that situation? That I judged it wrong. Yes. I don't care about her. Yeah. I don't care about the situation.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just...
No, it's not here, bro.
It's alright. Sir, we should knock. Knocking is amazing. Let me say,
exactly
come in.
You've put it perfectly. Go.
That's the only thing. I think my ego drives me crazy to the point where I'm like, what? Po, you got this all wrong. You idiot. So I might even go quiet whilst I'm there talking sometimes. Like, what did I not see? Like, what? I thought, I'm trying to work the situation out. Because no matter what, yeah, in the situation that I've learned, I think you're working from being a good person. I'm working from trauma. That's how this toxic thing starts. I'm working from trauma, cuz. And my whole thing is, I've clocked that I just want to know who you are. My whole process in this situation in regards is because I, in my mind, think I've not known you longer than I've known you, which is an obvious statement. But an also obvious statement at this point in my life is I might have spent less time on planet Earth with you than I spend actually with you at this point in my life, purely because I might die at like, I don't know, God knows what age. So, bro, like, I'm just not gonna try, like, my body on my mindset will never allow myself to immerse myself fully in it, because I'm just like, I'm taking it for what it is. You're a pretty girl, you've made me laugh. Cool, you fill in the rest of the blanks. I don't care if I like stuff. It doesn't matter. You have to fill out this page. I'm not filling out this page of feeling. You are filling out this page of characters. And then when I see the whole character, I will make a decision off the back of that. But I don't give a shit if we spent 5 months together and it's been great. I need information. I just think everything's calm. Does that make sense, type of thing? So I've never really had this, oh my God, I may say, yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl, I love her. But essentially in my mind, if you ask me seriously, cuz, bro, bitch, don't get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable. And you know what? Treat me the same. Don't ever treat me in no highs. Like, don't treat me as like some whatever. Don't.
Oh, 100.
Because I don't. When I'm around you, I'm gonna treat you like a queen. But don't feel obligated to do anything more for me. I don't feel the same. So if we are just meeting us where we're at, that means Saturday and Sunday's lit. I don't know what's happening Monday to Friday.
But
feel free to tell me.
Hear this, yeah.
Is that bad?
Hear this. I'm not even naive to the fact that it could be potentially happening.
You just don't want to know, bro.
I just know that if I know about it, it will alter the way that I see things.
But that's crazy because because I've looked at it as a blank page, I don't have anything on the page that says if it's this, it changes that. I don't care. Because no matter what, you're funny and you're pretty. That's pretty good for me, boy. We can have a pretty good time. I don't care about anything else. Oh, I smashed these guys. Fantastic. Are you still pretty? Yeah. Are you still funny? Yeah. I don't care about that. Let's just carry on having a good time. Yeah. Now, the things that you fill out in this page, and I like all of them, the moment some of them start disappearing, you're not funny no more. Why are you not funny no more? Oh, that was all cosplay. You can go away, man. That's not entry point to my life. I've written all the rules on the wall. As long as you do all of these things, we're going to have a great time. The moment you not do these things, it's not even we're just going to change the dynamic of the relationship. Maybe we don't go out to eat all the time. Maybe you just come to my yard. I'll get you a look at Uber Eats. Maybe we go out and we do bare stuff. Maybe I'll just come to meet you in the park a couple of times. I don't know. But we're going to change the dynamic because
of course,
I just want to have a good time.
Of course. Mine is just more circumstantial, and it's like, where are we at a certain point? If this is all beginning stage stuff, then I'm not. It just is what that is, man. We're having a good time and we're just doing what we're doing. If we start, from what I see, progressing into a certain place, and then I realize that I've judged it wrong, then in me judging it wrong, it will affect the way that I move potentially. But with that, it's not going to make me move mad towards that person, because technically they haven't even done anything wrong.
Of course not. I told a girl the other day, you're amazing. You are actually a girlfriend. Leave me alone. You want to find a boyfriend? What are you chatting to me for? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because all you're going to do is come over here, build up this expectation, and then tell me I'm a dog. I'm not a dog. I just don't want to settle down.
Yeah.
Settle up.
Yeah.
Walk strong. Now fall in love. Stand up in love. That's my settings. And I respect your settings. So because I respect your settings so much, I'm letting you know, baby girl, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Go that way. Oh, you want to stay here? Then let's have some fun. And don't complain about everything afterwards. You walked up to the ride, you saw the dangers, and now you're complaining that your hair's wet.
Right.
Then you should have put something to cover your head, beast.
Yeah, 100. But here's where it's all mad, because technically it's like, there's been times where in my life, I've been vibing with a girl or whatever, and we've like going in a certain direction. And while we've been going in that certain direction, there might have been a time where I've just gone and taken a little quick slap over there, but come back over here, and it hasn't affected the way that I am towards her and the direction in which we are going in.
Why? Because you work in the chippy. Selfish. And this is why I don't understand why I'm the dog. I just say what it is. This is what I'm doing. It doesn't mean I don't have the capacity to change one day. I'm never going to say that.
Yeah.
But I've been this way for a period of time and tried to be in denial because of what people would say. Now I consistently tell you on this platform, in the jungle, you know what animal I am. If you don't like it, nobody come to my part of the jungle. It's other parts.
Cheetah.
Do your thing, man.
Wait, was you going to say something quickly?
I was going to say, like,
I like your t-shirt, by the way. I just want to let you know.
This one?
Yeah, you look good today. Let your brothers know. Carry on. I try.
What I was going to say was that you sharing that information in a position where you actually don't care. You don't want to know. It's wouldn't you call that kind of like manipulative, like underhanded manipulation?
No.
Yes.
No.
And manipulation is not bad.
What do you mean?
No, like
I manipulate my kids all the time.
Like in what sense?
Like you're telling her that you would feel a type of way if she was doing something with another brother. Now the thing is, it's like she can do something with another brother if she wants to, right?
Yeah.
That's the position you're in. So she already knows that like in the back of her mind that she's not gonna tell you this shit. Why would she? Nobody's gonna tell you that she's doing something else with somebody else. Like, oh, this guy took me Ted last week. Like, she's not gonna say that.
No.
But you, in saying that, is letting her know.
I hear you.
Like you're putting your cards on the table.
But it's not intentional
Wait.
manipulation.
Let him land. Go.
It's not intentional.
Go.
You're sharing for your own benefit, not for her benefit. You're sharing for your own benefit. But in doing so, you're placing cards on the table that she's looking at, saying, all right, cool, I'm going to have to move a certain way now because you put the cards on the table.
So I would change the sentence to, I would change the word benefit and use intention. I'm just showing her my intentions of where I'm going in this situation here. And she's the one who brought it up. She's saying, if you were seeing somebody else, I wouldn't really feel a way about that. That's something that she's volunteered to me.
Okay.
So in return, I've responded and said, well, I would. If I found out, and in essence, I would expect her, even though she's telling me that she wouldn't feel a way about me doing X, Y, and Z, at the point that we're in, if she found out I was doing X, Y, and Z with so-and-so, it's going to sting. It's definitely going to sting. And that's okay. But again, there's no manipulation in the aspect of, well,
It's not intentional.
because now I've said this to you, you should move in a certain way. No, I'm just letting you, if anything, what you then do is, if you believe, and this is okay for her to feel this way, if she believes, well, we're not together, we're not in anything super solid right now, I still believe in my process, in the way that I connect with somebody and how I find companionship, and it is still to multiple date at this stage here, she's entitled to do that. In her mind, maybe it's just, I just need to be a little bit more strategic and tactical in how I do this and make sure that it's not, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do something that is going to mash up this whole process because he has told me and been honest that this is going to make him feel a certain type of way. But I'm not telling her to not do it. I'm not saying to her, yo, don't do X, Y, and Z. You offered me some information, and in regards to that, I responded and said, oh, that's interesting. I would feel away.
This is what I find interesting about that incident.
That would hurt me. Sometimes it's okay to do that.
No, of
babes,
course.
Babes, you know what? It's fine to do it, but I'm just letting you know, it would hurt me. I'd feel away.
But this is how let me show you how I feel about that situation, because I find it very interesting, because I think no one's wrong. I believe they're both manipulative, and I'll explain why. They're both manipulative. With me, I have to use myself as an example because I'm a narcissist. I want a clear field. I don't want hay fever to get in the way. I don't want you to lose your keys. I need a clear field. So I'll tell you what it is. If you don't like it, I'm about to lay down here and get a tan. It is hot, baby girl, and we gonna look good. What they're both doing in that scenario there is the girl saying something to find out information from Chuckie. Now, a girl's done that to me. And when she said to me, oh, I wouldn't even find it that much of a problem, you know, if you were seeing someone else. I said to her, that's good, boy. Make sure you jump on the gram tomorrow because I'm outside. Now that mashes up her whole plan. How dare you have a plan for me? How dare you have a plan for me? Now because you have a plan for me, I got a plan for you. Let me see how you respond now. I see them apple crumbling. I eat it. It's good. We bit of custard. The point I'm making is when Chuckie rebuttals, he's aware of that information. He didn't clear the field. He played the game. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But in essence, they're both manipulating each other. And I'm with it.
No. Here where okay,
I'm with it though.
Here's where, because I'm a narcissist now.
My brother.
Right?
Cat backwards.
I don't believe what I did was manipulative, but I think now, as you've explained it, she was manipulating me.
Of course she was.
And I didn't even realise she was
Of course
doing
she was
that.
manipulating
Do you know what? And usually
you.
I would see this. Let me explain. Of
course she was
I didn't even see
manipulating.
this until now. That's why
Come
I didn't
on,
even see this.
come on, she was
and
doing
usually
that.
I see these things. I didn't even.
She would be
When she
seeing
said,
someone
when
else.
she obviously when it was said, I didn't even click. I just responded.
Yeah.
However, the reason why I say is manipulative on her side
It is
because it's done from a point of information.
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna say this to see what he then says.
And then run back to her girls like, oh my God, he said this. With me, you're not going back to your girls.
I'm just in the. It's almost like you saying. It's a bit different, but please run with me, yeah?
Go on.
It's like, you might sit here and say, I really like this artist, knowing
it's
that
exactly the same.
knowing that potentially I might have a problem with this.
It's exactly the same thing.
And I just respond and say, do you? Oh no, I just like that.
Now
I'm still telling you, I'm just responding to the sentence that you've given to me. But the way that you've phrased the sentence and the reasoning for giving me the sentence is out of manipulation. I'm just offering you.
Chuckie wasn't manipulating. He didn't even realize what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on. I just said.
He's a victim.
I just said, yo, boom. Now I'm vexed. Now I'm vexed.
Yeah, chat to them.
You know what? I'm going to go back now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and fucking find out exactly why.
Double back.
You understand what I'm saying?
U-turn.
Yeah, I'm going to as soon as I get over, I'm calling her.
Make sure you text it.
Because none of them was in a relationship, I just feel like those kinds of statements and comments are both manipulative. I'm not saying that you were like
no, but Chuckie's situation, because this sorry to cut you. I agree with you, but sorry to cut you. My belief is when you open the door for disrespect, whatever comes through, whatever's whatever. When there's always a process you can foresee happening with consistency and good vibes. The moment you do that, you don't know what's gonna happen. You hope for something, but now you've hoped for something based upon what you think of their character. Like I said, I only use myself as an example. I'm a narcissist. When you do that to me, I'll ruin your whole day. Because I've clocked you're playing a game with me. I don't want to play games. I want us to tell the truth. Sometimes I water down the truth if you're asking me genuinely. Oh, you want to play a game? This truth is going to be so horrible, you might not phone me again. But it's not the truth. It's just not watered down. Do you know where I'm coming from? I just gave you straight vodka. Could have put a little juice in it.
If you're asking a question as well for an ulterior motive and I respond, my response more time can't be from a place of that. I'm just responding. You're telling me something and I'm just responding to
the question
thing that you're telling me. And so, and in that response is actually a good opportunity for me to just let you know what my intentions are with this situation right now. But again, you can do your thing. I'm just letting you know, this is just where I'm at. I don't expect you to be here with me. I'm just telling you this is what I see. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes, in a way, there's power in that too. And I think that sometimes some people probably, depending on how that person checks for you, they might really like that. They might think, you know what? I didn't even realize that you checked for me as much as you did until today, until I said this.
This ego thing, man.
I'm just telling you, I'm putting that aside. I'm letting you know, babes, that would hurt. I'd feel a little bit away about that.
Information sets pace.
And that's what you're supposed to do. No, sometimes in a relationship or in a situation, you have to
chat to them, Chuckie.
We're in a situation, and in essence, we have a friendship.
We have a
friendship. So at some point, somebody has to show some type of intention. Yeah. The intention can't always just be black and white as we're building something. Babes, will you be my girl? Yeah. The intentions is, I actually really like you.
Yes,
I really like you, and for that. As you've said this, if that was what you did, that would make me feel some type of way. But I'm saying, I really like you.
Now, do you know what Chuckie has now? The reason why Chuckie can't be on the manipulative side is he has an objective. And his objective is so pure in everything he does, he communicates that. Now, I'm not saying her objective might be the same as Chuckie's, but you see her route. She's going through back alleys now. There's dustbin trucks there. She's having to wait for him to come. Chuckie just took the right route.
What a conniving bitch.
Yeah. Okay, the second
How about
part.
that? How about that?
Bit harsh. Second part, a bit harsh. It felt a bit harsh, Chuckie. But maybe she still want to put all her cards on the table.
I hear it.
Maybe she's like, Chuckie, I know he gets gal, R&B, next to Taser. Taser looks like he eats the gym. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So I understand
this is
why.
Before them times there still. But
okay, I tried to back her. Sorry, you are a conniving bitch. No, you've always been Chuckie though. Allow it, man. 2010. Check the videos out. Me, Chuckie, and Craig Mitch arguing about Kendrick and Drake from early. So.
All of that. And we can get back to some of that in a bit actually. But let's have another quick serious conversation.
Go on.
And it stemmed from a conversation we was having on the phone.
Okay.
How people react to death.
Yes.
And their responses in which they feel like they need to have. Do you remember the conversation we was having?
Yes, I do. My dad used to tell me all the time, the people that raise you in life are society, your family, and TV. And if society hasn't shown you something, your family hasn't shown you something, and TV's shown you something, the way you respond will be one of the three. So I would just go, this is so, when people say, oh, he's so theatrical, he's so TV, or he's so, it's because a lot of his life is consumed television. He's consumed something a particular way. He communicates that. People go, yeah, that's the way you're meant to respond. So then that becomes the response for life. Not in all cases, but I believe in some cases. Cool. Death is a prime example of that. I don't think much people experience death until later on in their life, unless you're from areas where it's maybe quite more common than other areas. Or
you have a really, really big
family an old family or something like that. So otherwise it's very difficult to experience that type of commonality in the worlds that we live in. In Western, in some of the broken parts of the world, I imagine you experience it so consistently you're numb to it. Do you know where I'm coming from? Yeah. But where we're at, it's not that consistent, Cole.
So
I say that to say this.
Congo.
Yes, exactly. Every time. Every single time. Say it again as well, just so I was talking over you.
Free Palestine and Congo as well.
So...
And Sudan.
Come on. So, my problem with the way people respond to death is that sometimes I've had responses where in a shorter period of time, it's very emotional and maybe a little bit, just leave poet to himself for a little bit. But once I've got through the 2 days, my guy, I'm good. Because just as a Rasta man, and I'm a practicing Rasta, I'm not all the way there yet. Come on, fam, I'm still eating a couple meats. Not pork though, judge me correctly. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that over there, even though I did see you eating a bacon sarnie.
Strongly.
Who kid?
Strongly.
Great DJ. I'm just being serious. You make me lose my trail of thought, man. Let me just try and jump back on it. Thank you. So, as a practicing Rasta, I just believe in my life there are certain things that certain men over there have told me. Not to say that it's part of the tradition, it might not be, but certain of those individuals that I respect have told me you have to learn to celebrate the life of this individual and think about all the wonderful things they've placed in your life, and the way to keep them alive is to carry on their teachings. Now, obviously, you have to write off Hitler, it's a bit more difficult to do that. But that's not the people that I lose. They are nice, beautiful people. And the way in which I've responded to these situations is after I've gone through that small process is I think of them and I smile. Every time I think of my dad, I smile. He was an absolute G, bruv. Absolute G. Okay, he has a couple of bad things about him, but don't we all? We're all rounded people.
We all do.
And the same thing about recently, obviously, I think the way we spoke about it, I'm sure if you're on my socials, you would know, my cousin passed away, Clyde. And Clyde's been walking around here. You would have seen him before and always with my kids and helped me get Zion and Khalifa. And
that was why we didn't record last week, by the way.
Yeah.
For people that were,
apologies for that. I apologize.
No, you ain't got to apologize at all.
But now Chuckie, I know maybe it's a little bit sooner than it was with my dad, but bro, my cousin was a G, you know,
proper,
a proper G. He's one of the best people I've ever had the privilege of meeting, and it was my cousin. You're talking about someone my kids know as uncle, they know him as uncle. You're talking about someone that, when people talk about the things that they do for family, they're talking about Clyde. It's not really a reflection of them. He is everything that, when you say someone that puts family first, you phone him, he'll be there in 25 minutes. It doesn't matter. He could be 5 hours away. He's there in 25 minutes. I don't know how he always did it. So this guy is incredible. So when I see people respond a particular way to the situation and they look at me and they're wanting me to respond the same way, it's almost like they're unaware of it, but it's almost like subconscious bullying. They won't take this situation serious from my end until I'm as broken as them. And I'm like, yo, man, like, God gives us all different roles in life. And I'm seeing my family and I'm seeing how broken certain people are. And I understand. But the point or the position I seem to have, and I thank God for this, like, it's a position given by God, is a sense of strength. We all can't be broken through this, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody has to help the individuals that are really, really hurt by this. And some people obviously don't have the strength.
And sometimes you feel like in a moment that people just expect that you are going to be broken in that period of time right now, visibly.
It doesn't mean that you're always healed. It doesn't mean that you won't have little moments where, you're down a bit. But for the large part of the day, you're in a better state than most. So I look at the responsibility at that point as try and help everybody else. If you don't know how that is right now, do what I do sometimes. Sit down, couple weeks to yourself and figure out what help looks like long term. Not short term. Again, that's easy. Just watch films. Come cry on my shoulder. I'll go to your house the next day. I'll speak to you very commonly over 2 weeks. We never see the film past that point, so we don't know what to do. I'm like, what can I do consistently for the rest of my life that you might be missing out on? I'm not going to be able to figure that out 2 days in, man. I can't lie to you. I need just a bit more time because of how important it is. And I think that's the approach I get into in situations like this. I guess some people get into, how am I going to live without this person? How am I going to do it? I get into, that's the reality right now. And I got responsibilities. I got Hcpod. I got filthy fellas. You know what I'm saying? I got Vibber. I got my brethrens. I got my family. I got too much responsibilities and things in and around me that God's given me the presence of having, that I have to acknowledge what's happened, go through it, and then take the blessings and the strengths from it to allow my journey to be stronger into helping my friends and my family. Not allow this situation to break me. Because if everybody does that, we don't move forward.
Yeah.
Some people are going to do that, and some people need to help them people fight through this, because we are going to get through this. We're going to get through it. And I don't see that mentality with a lot of people, Chuckie. I see broken. And sometimes I'm like, this is not even how you feel. This is how you feel you should respond to the situation, because you don't know another way of responding.
Right.
The other way of responding is you being you. Right. Not you doing something that you think everyone's going to go, oh my God, they're really broken. If no one even knows you're broken, who cares? It's a conversation between you and the big man. Ain't nobody else need to be involved.
100%. And I think that is more the point, more than anything, because it's like, look, a disability, for example, isn't always visible.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point.
If I say I'm disabled, but I'm walking up and down the place or whatever, you can't look at me and say, well, he's not disabled. He's got arms, he's got legs, he can walk around or whatever.
When they see you in the badge, they're fuming when you walk out of the car.
Yeah, exactly. But there's all different types of disabilities that you can still have. You're still disabled. So in a situation like this, it's like, just because I'm walking around and I'm functioning very well, doesn't mean that I'm broken inside. I'm functioning in a certain way, but I'm broken inside because I'm going through something. So you don't have to feel like, as a person, you need to, I don't want to necessarily say the word pretend, but it's like, feel as though that in this situation, you have to visibly be broken to show that you are visibly broken in a situation like this. And sometimes it really opened the doors to me thinking like this when Peter died, because I was like, there was a couple of times where I know what my mum is going through. Yeah. I know how much my mum is crying. I know how this is really affecting her. But also, there's only so much in a day that she's going to cry, because it's mentally exhausting.
Yeah, of course.
So at the time now that she's seen XYZ of a person, they're almost expecting that at this point, she's going to cry. So for them, they feel like, I've got to cry right now in front of Mumsy. And it's like, you don't have to, if this is not how you feel, if this is not how you feel, you don't have to do it, because it's okay. It's fine. It doesn't show me any less that you're any less broken because you're here visibly just hugging my mum and whatever else. You can still be feeling the same way. If you just don't feel that right now, you don't have to do it. There were so many times where, like, see my mum and then someone would literally look, they would look completely fine, bro. They'd like walk over, look completely fine. And as soon as they see her, they look at her in her face and then they would just start bawling. And it's like, I'm not saying you're not upset and you don't feel away, but you can show this. You don't have to cry in front of her to show that you're upset. You don't have to do that.
Tears is not, just don't.
You don't have to do that. We don't have. It's not, and it's on top of that. It's actually not even helpful. It's not helpful. It doesn't do anything. It makes things worse. It makes it even more draining. And I'll tell you why it makes things even more draining, actually, yeah. Is because now what you're doing is you're walking over and you are, in some aspects, not all the time, but in some aspects, you're forcefully taking your energy and dumping it on someone else's shoulders who's already got a world of emotions that they're having to deal with already.
Or you're giving someone confusion. And confusion at a point like that, we ain't even got time to compartmentalize what's going on. We haven't even got time to go, oh, they think they're doing this because of that. We just go, oh, and then you're down again. Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry, as you were saying.
Yeah. I think as well, yeah. You know, I was having a conversation with one of my close friends about this because he's going through a situation with somebody that had passed away, that's really close to him, and dealing with funerals and whatever. And it was like, we was talking about how sometimes certain people try to paint this amazing picture of this person's life and what they did. And I was saying to him, you don't have to do that. That's another thing. You don't have to do that. Sometimes you can paint a sweeter picture of the truth. So for example, yeah, my uncle passed away, Uncle Clifton. Yeah. Love Uncle Clifton. But this was a man who had a turbulent life and did a lot of, he did a lot of
questionable things.
Yes, he did a lot. Now, at the funeral, what was really good about this funeral was there wasn't this mad, beautiful picture of something that it wasn't. There was just different interpretations of their relationships with him, which were turbulent, but some were funny and some were sad. Do you get what I'm saying? So, for example, maybe even in speeches, the way that someone might go up and give a speech. One speech might be sad. It might be like, you know what, I had a really good time with him, whatever, and, you know, think it wasn't always perfect, but, you know, I remember this and I remember that and whatnot, and you remember those times and you keep it stepping. Someone else will come in and they will just give a funny story of something super unfortunate that he did. But it was, you get what I'm saying? It was who he was. He would have laughed.
Brother.
He would have found that funny. But what we didn't need to do was paint this picture, yeah, and create a ceremony that made this look like this was the most righteous
best
man ever
human has ever touched planet Earth.
I think I say all of that to say, yeah, I think that like over the years since these type of ceremonies have started, I feel like there's been a process, and everyone has always felt the need to just follow the process in the ceremony. But I do think that we don't always have to do it like that. There's elements that we can change to make it a little bit more fitting for the person and make it a little bit more, I think it makes it more wholesome, as opposed to, you know, sometimes you turn up to certain ceremonies and you're like, this is sad, but this don't even feel right. This just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
This is not even everything that we've done here is not even nearly a representation of the person who's in the box right now.
And you know what? Saying that, the moment you said that, it's made me touch on this situation. So before we even move on, I want to definitely big up my cousin Clyde and say the way they've celebrated him, yeah. Shout out the whole of the people them in Tottenham, man. Honestly, from my auntie Prudence, shout out Celestine. Shout out my closest friends that provided balance at a time of despair. They didn't come round and sit down and mope and so on and so forth. And maybe some people need that. But shout out people like Little Yaz, Mitch, my boy Wheezy, Courts, Pep, like Mark, Dorian. These people just came around and just showed love. Shaq, just good vibes. Max, like all of them were just showing good vibe, love. And it made you realise at that really bad point in your life, it made you realise why life was so beautiful. And then with that energy and love that all my people them are giving me, it allows me to be recharged to try and give it to everybody else, rather than being in a situation similar to my dad's passing and other negative things that have happened in my life, where I haven't acknowledged that love around me and then just walked around a little bit bitter. And it's like, you don't need to be like that. Like, as much as this bad things happen, it's happened to a load of people. Do you know what I'm saying? I would rather be strong for my cousin Celestine, maybe the strongest woman I know. Strong for my auntie Prudence. Strong for the little daughter, like strong for them, because they're the ones that need it. Do you know where I'm coming from? So I love the fact that my friends acknowledge the thing that you were speaking about just now and saying, okay, this negative thing has happened. How do we approach it? Do you know where I'm coming from? Shout out Tyson. Elton,
But also
Smith,
understand
Ramon
as well
Reeves.
that it's actually sometimes when you're in your weakness in those moments, it's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
There's nothing wrong with it. And also, you know, no matter how much you suppress it, it's going to come anyway.
And don't feel
When you have a
guilty.
certain-
Don't feel guilty about your emotional state at the time.
No.
That's not important. It's your contribution to the situation that's important.
100.
Not your emotional state. Your contribution is gonna far exceed whatever emotional state anybody's in. Everyone's gonna remember what you did at the time when these things happened. So maybe you should do the right thing. Do you know where I'm coming from? But again, everyone in your own time, man.
You mentioned as well, just briefly, what you said about Clyde. Yeah, it's like, it's mad because I feel like I can always identify those type of people quite quickly.
Yeah.
When you said that, you know, he's a family man. If there's something going on or whatever, he'll be 5 hours away. He'll be there in 3 hours.
How?
He'll make his way.
He didn't even drive.
If there's a certain if there's a certain situation that is going on or whatever, he might find himself being a mediator or whatever else, or the voice of reason and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember the first time I met him, but I do remember meeting him and understanding and seeing that, he's like the Elliot in my family.
Yeah, he's the brother.
I saw him and I thought, he reminds me of my cousin. Like, he's there. Like, and I saw some of the situations that you were going through or whatever, and he was there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Even that, like, an unfortunate situation when your dad was, it was your dad's funeral or whatever, and there was things going on or whatever. I saw him there making sure everything was crisp, whatnot, and even just adding a little bit of perspective for the moment. I see him doing that. And we were damn near sitting near each other as well at your dad's funeral or whatever. But yeah, man, he was a really clean-hearted, good-spirited brother.
He said to me, Paul, can you shout out Chuckie for me? Because Chuckie was the one that was holding me down in the church when I was a bit emotional.
100%.
Big facts.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it, bro. Like, honestly, the guy was a hero, bro.
Yeah.
He was an absolute hero. Pleasure to know him. Honor to know him. Honor to be his family member. And I think at times like this, I'm just trying to figure out how to be a lot more useful to people like my cousin Celestine and my auntie mum. I call her auntie mum, Auntie Prudence, and do you know what I'm saying? Like, just that side of the family, like they're very important people, and you can't just act. You need to think, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing that they want? And asking questions and just trying to shout out West Green Road as well, man. Tion's got a shop in West Green Road. Shout out Tion, man. He's a good friend to my cousin, and he put on a beautiful celebration in West Green Road, Friday gone. So last Friday when I wasn't here. And it ran from 2 p.m. right up until God knows what time. Shout out Frisco. Frisco's over there, shot a video.
Oh,
like,
cool.
yeah, man. Just one thing it makes me realize is how important community is. And I know I sound like a miserable old man here sometimes, always talking about it. But when you go back and I'm seeing so much people that I used to coach in football, or seeing people I used to look after through youth work or family friends, brother, if there was ever a time where you needed that, it was right then. It was right there. Went to the Haringey Irish Centre right next to Meridian in Tottenham. I haven't really been Tottenham recently too tough just because I've been work and a couple of things I'm trying to sort out. And I'm going back down there, and I have to make this clear as well. When people say they rep certain ends, I understand the negative connotations attached to it because of how loud it is. But if you're from the hood, you'll understand there's many different mechanics to the hood. And there are some people that are just happy to sing about it because of the good things that they've done. So don't branch me in to anything negative when I say these things, because I ain't got time for any of that. I'm a big man, bro. Like, I care about the good people in that area, and there are good people in every single area. So when I speak about these places, I'm speaking about the perspective of the individuals that want to move it forward to make it safer from everybody else. What everybody else wants to do, I'm not even telling you don't do it. I'm just saying don't branch me with them people.
Right then.
So when I say to you I love Tottenham, I'm talking about all the positive things that I was part of, I can speak firsthand, and my cousin was part of, and the community was part of, because that's what I witnessed on the Friday gone. I'm not saying there wasn't people there that might be questioned by God, people. That's not what we're discussing. We're just talking about the area on a whole. It was beautiful because Tottenham hasn't had a nice little place where people can go and chill out for a period of time. So shout out to Tion again for making that show. I can't remember the name of it. I literally just messaged Tyson whilst she was talking to try and figure out the name of it because. Okay. But yeah, man, I'll remember it for next week. And if anyone knows what I'm talking about, leave a comment and we have to promote those types of things because. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying, my brother?
So anyway, let's go into some music stuff quickly.
Okay.
Probably this might be the last time this comes up now, but there's some more reference tracks.
Bro, honestly, yeah, What do you
There's
feel?
some more Drake reference tracks.
You made a point on the phone to me about
Mob Ties.
But there was a point you made about there's a Mob Ties reference tracks come out. Vori wrote it, and Happy Birthday Ratchet, Happy Birthday, Party Next Door wrote it. They showed that when the Vori Mob Ties track was done, it was done in his house. They showed you the video clips of it.
I actually didn't see all of that. The thing is, though, obviously these guys are being credited. I think we just didn't know to the extent of how much it was written.
I remember when the Last Meal album happened, and that's when I really started taking into account credits and all of that. And I saw Cocaine writ over bare Snoop Dogg songs, and I was like, so I started thinking to myself, like, to what extent do people write? And people used to say the person that's first wrote the most. I used to be like, that's nonsense, because I've seen occasions that's not actually true. So
yeah, that isn't true.
I still, when I listen to songs now and I'm seeing so many different vocals and different arrangements, I always have an understanding and a belief that other people are involved in the writing process, but I never think it's the verse. I always think if it's the bridge or the chorus, fair enough. Yeah. But the verse is meant to be the personal part. Like the bridge is the connection to the personal part and the general part that we all can relate to. Then I go, oh, that's why you said that. So I don't mind the bridge being written by someone else. And I don't mind the chorus because you need to speak to a load of people and maybe just through your writing you can speak. But that 16 is not yours as well. Nah, man. Do you know where I'm coming from, Chuckie?
Yeah. But the thing is, obviously, it's weird, man. I mean, yeah, there's the crediting aspect, and that just is what that is. But also, I think I was saying that when I heard the reference, it was interesting to me because I never liked the song.
I know you said.
I didn't like Mob Ties.
You said.
And I realised straight away when I listened to the reference track, one of the reasons why I didn't even like Mob Ties is because I just didn't believe Drake in that. I just didn't believe
What do you mean when you say you didn't believe Drake?
That whole Mob Tie stuff, I just didn't believe. Like...
Cosplay.
This is not to say, that like every rapper is telling the ultimate truth in each situation, yeah? And you know what? It's actually not even far from the possibility that you could be in superstardom and actually have some type of mob ties. When you get to a certain point in your career... Yeah, you're going to have conversations with certain types of people. That's just one of the things. Sometimes you're going to have to peel off. Sometimes man are going to want to sit down with you and whatnot. And yeah, look, you can sit down and talk about, Jay Prince and them man there. Them man there really, really do their thing. I just honestly it wasn't a record I believed. I just didn't believe it like that. When I heard the reference, I was like, yo, this thing is hard.
You even said to me on the phone, like you believe this guy
I believe
more.
this Don more. And I maybe that this could be super fabricated, but it just resonated more. There was more of a bounce to that from my perspective. But I just think, look, man, I would be super, 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 super disappointed if I found out that there was reference tracks for timestamps. But I do think this, I think where this is a little bit disappointing is that if I was hearing that there was reference tracks to Hotline Bling.
Who cares?
You see all of those records, Tootsie Roll and them type of tune there where you're trying to make the biggest song. You're trying to make a Happy, the equivalent of a Pharrell. Fair enough. Because you're in your superstardom bag and you're trying to touch all four corners of the earth, everywhere. I'm not even mad at that because this is a guy that's on a completely different mission. But anything that is a little bit more rappy, that's where it becomes a little bit more disappointing for me. And the point I was making to you on the phone is that I think for Drake has to just make peace with the fact that the conversations are going to be different. His life isn't going to be different. He's still going to be able to... Different. I mean, we can have a debate about that.
His finances might not be, but his life.
That's what I mean. I mean more in the sense of like, he's still going to be able to tour. He's still going to be. People are still going to pull up to his show. There's like that element of his life.
I'm still going.
Yeah. That element of that element, he's not going to see that much of a difference. I don't believe. Yeah. However, when it does come to the conversations with people that where their voices are important, he will have to just make peace with the fact that his name. Or he's not going to be revered in the same way in that element of the conversation. And if that matters to you, that's the part where you have to make peace with that. But outside of that, other than that, you just be the machine, or he just continues to just be the machine that he is with, contributors and this, that, and the fourth, and trying to touch all four corners of the world doing that. and he can be over there doing that, and I don't think anyone will have that much complaints with it. Really, it just is what it is.
All I think that's happened now is everyone's realised hip hop's a planet, and New York's a different country, and Atlanta's a different country, and there's all these different countries in this world of hip hop, and Drake doesn't have a country. He flew over, and what he's trying to do is trying to figure out the dialect and the language to talk to every single country. So he has to get help. Whereas Future doesn't need help talking to Atlanta, but he might need help talking to the globe. So he might get writers to help him talk to the globe. But in terms of talking to his country, it's very easy for him to talk to his country.
Well, what country would you say Kanye was then?
Kanye was talking to the world from day one. He was like the epitome of cool kid pain. So he could relate to so much people through pain, and he was the pain of being the outsider and the outcast, not being in the scene. And then before you know it, it's the pain of losing my nan. Then it's the pain of losing my mum. Then it's the pain of a wife. It's always pain with him. And Adele's been selling pain for time. When she was in a relationship, no one didn't care. As soon as she started getting slim, niggas like saying, we got a problem. Adele drop a project. Mary J. Blige has been happy for a little while. No, don't give a shit. So pain is a universal language for people. And it's just that once you're able to do that in a very convincing way, it don't even matter where you're from. That's like a universal language. Like me bringing a football to Paraguay, I don't need to talk to everyone.
So you're essentially saying it's that extra piece of depth, regardless of where it comes from. If it resonates, then that's different. But if you're not expressing that element of depth like that,
then your Future talking to Atlanta, and then everyone polarizes you, and then they go, "Oh, he's good. We understand what he's saying now," because everyone translates it. There's nothing to translate for Drake. We know what you're saying. Furthermore, your part in this whole situation is wherever people were talking to girls, you flew to that country and spoke to the girls. All that happened was when you flew to the country of Atlanta and spoke to the girls, you'd look around and go, well, on this planet, every time I go to these countries, I'm only speaking to girls. I want to speak to the man them. So people had to come in and show you how to do that translation. And all that's happened after years of people showing you how to translate to talk to these different groups, you've never paid real homage. You've made it seem like I'm number one. And now what we all see is these countries, such as Atlanta, and I say countries, like just not in the actual country, but like the world is hip hop, and these are all the different countries involved in it. I'm saying now the world sees you don't have a place within it. You genuinely don't, which means this world exists without you, but you don't exist without the world. So you need to now start paying homage to the world, and we pay homage to you as an interpreter of the whole world of hip hop. You've done an incredible job.
What does that
but remember, you can't live without this, but this can live without you. So therefore, this is the most valuable thing. It's not the other way around.
What does the paying homage look like?
I don't know what that looks like for Drake, because I don't really know who he is. I think people do it in different ways depending on their character. So the way Wiz Khalifa used to pay homage to like all of the people that he was in love with is he used to try and make some money, get them signed, and let them do whatever they want. And maybe that be because of the privileges he has. I don't know. I don't know what Drake's one looks like. Do you know where I'm coming from? I know that Jay-Z gave J. Cole his whatever he had, or his masters or whatever like that. Maybe depending on who you are and what power you have will depend on what respect looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? Respect for me, for example, is probably different to what respect for Kano looks like, due to what he can achieve, what he can do, and so on and so forth. So if Drake was a respectful individual, he'd be able to tell us. But obviously, he's out here sleeping with everyone's gal.
Yeah, that's the part that makes it a little bit shaky still. But
come on,
I don't know. I mean,
can I bring something else up? Because Drake and Kendrick and all of that, I don't even care no more, man.
I did love what you said on the phone, though.
What did I say?
You said, I can't remember exactly how you phrased it, but it was like, all of this stuff is happening, and now Kendrick's just genuinely gone.
But bro, that's the one thing I love the most.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick's whole approach in this has been so consistent.
It's like, this is what I needed to do. This is what needed to happen. These are the things I needed to put on the table. And then on top of that, I needed to show you that I could make a banger on top of that by dissing you and doing all of that type of stuff. Let me go back on the hills. Ayahuasca.
I answered all the questions in the music and disappeared. I didn't phone up no streamers. I didn't... Like, you done so much stuff, Drake, to try and cover the landscape of hip-hop. But the reasons why you had to do that is because you don't live there. So you're telling all the people that live there what to do. Kendrick lives there. He wakes up, he's there, he talks to everyone there. You're having to fly in there and tell people, and then you're telling people that you only have a relationship with working-wise. This nigga's telling his cousins, he's telling his friends, he's telling his neighbours. It's a whole different approach when you're a colonizer. And that's what I'm trying to tell to you colonizers, man. When you come from outside and you come in, as long as you recognize who you are, no one will remind you. And that's life, you know.
It feels a bit strong still.
Of course, come on, I'm going gym now. It's going to feel a little bit stronger coming from me now. But the only reason why I say a colonizer is because of your behavior. You had the opportunity to call it something else because you're mixed race. You can take a choice right now. You can go colonizer or you can go, hey, my dad is from the black side. And what you chose to do was use your...
from Houston or something.
Exactly. And he just chose to use the 20 years of life that he's had with his mum, which I'm not here to tell you is wrong. You just have to identify and say it's... Like we said, we spoke about this 2 weeks ago about the black experience. Yeah. Your black experience isn't hip hop, so therefore you are a colonizer. But moving on from that,
no, but his black experience, a part of it was, but he just diverted from it. Because remember, his whole thing was Talib Kweli and Mos Def and them, man. And then he went into his cool bag and then tried to almost felt like he was dismissing them, man. Whereas I felt like if he stayed in that lane, I mean, maybe he wouldn't have been as big as he. I think he probably would have been, to be honest with you.
He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have.
You don't think so? I think he potentially could have been.
Look at the checkpoints that requires you to be the type of rapper that you described, and ask him how you encountered them as the person he is today.
Okay, do you know what? I will, but I can't do it now.
Well, one of them is Meek Mill's battling Meek Mill. I would ask
but he was still Drake. Like before that, he was still.
But in order for you to battle, but I'm just talking at history. I'm not looking at anybody else. The type of rapper you've described him as, I want you to find me 10 of those rappers that have had battles with street niggas.
No, I hear all of that, but I think in the direction of where Drake was going in the early days, he was still on fire and he was still a little bit more authentic to who he. For me, this is my thing. Yeah?
I agree.
Drake's. The pivotal change in my perspective was, if you're reading this, in and around there, where you start seeing a lot more of the gangsterism, the black glove, and this, that, and you start seeing more Chubbs, and there's more things that's just happening here.
Because that speaks
and
to black experience.
on top of that, he's gone off and but prior to that moment, Drake is like ascending in a mad way, and he's still a byproduct, as far as I'm concerned, a little bit from this other side of rap music, which was more aligned to these guys that he used to talk about all of the time. It's almost though, when you get into your cool bag and you start being with your cool friends and you start doing different things or whatever, now it's almost like, I don't feel like I need to be with them, man. I've outgrown them, man. I'm going to do this. And then that's where your character starts to come into question, because people start looking at it within your music like, hold on a minute. 1 minute you're here with these man, now you're here with these man, and then these man, and then these man, and then that's why people like you and me will say, wait, who are you?
Bro, you showed me one guy.
But I do think that his ascendancy was crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying to you, show me a guy in our ends that was West London something for a little while, then South London something for a little while, then North London. Before you know it, he's dead, geezer. He's either dead, in prison, or no one gives a shit about him. But when you have money, a little bit lighter, and I won't say because I don't want no problems. Life is going really good right now. I don't want no problems. But when you tie in all of the things that separates him from a black experience, a set like him transcending, along with the black experience that is polarized, like, well, duh. But when you break it down and you tell the truth, he's nothing that he appears to be. So therefore, you are a visitor to a world that you don't have a home in. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying it's truth. Listen, I'm a visitor to hip hop. I don't live in hip hop. If hip hop's a world, I'm also visiting. But I will tell you, I'm visiting, Chuckie. Same way, if an American man comes over here and tells me he's grime, I will tell him he's visiting. Yes, our planet's a little bit smaller, but I still value it. Just because you do something and you have money doesn't mean you epitomize it. It's the equivalent to, I'm
essentially saying that. I think that I don't know how big he would have got, but I think Drake would have still been a big Drake. Why? But maybe a certain side may not have seen him or been fooled into thinking that he was the Drake that we saw at one particular point, if that makes sense. It's either the cool side that maybe he might have been trying to like exert out of himself. Maybe less people from that side would have seen that. But I think that I still think he would have had a God's plan and done a madness. And he still would have touched all of these different types. But I think he would have been able to do that.
I think if he would have been able to do it, he would have done it. So I disagree. But we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Do you know what I'm saying? One thing
also,
we'll never know.
There was contributors, isn't it? So that's another reason why I think he would have done it. Because he still would have. Those contributors that he had weren't necessarily it's not like the contributor was like, let's say Jay or Nas or Benny the Butcher or whatever. The contributor was Quentin Miller. The contributor for this other thing here was, I'm not even sure who that guy is, but you know what? There's an assignment. In fact, that Mob Tie song sounded like that was my man's tune. To be honest with you, that didn't even sound like a reference thing. But either way,
it was Rory's though. It sounded like a Quentin Miller tune as well, bro.
Yeah. So even then, it's like them man that at that stage of their career, if you got somebody who's ascending and someone says, you know what, let me take that song on, you might just pass that up because they are where they are at, and this person is where they're at. I just think that if you have contributors and people helping you, and it's packaged a certain way, and you make a God's plan, I think it can go.
The reason why I disagree, because you're missing out.
We'll never know.
There's 8 stages to it. To get to God's plan, you can't just go 2-7. You can't just.
No, you can't. But what I'm saying is, before we've got to, if you're reading this, he's gone.
No, but you can still not go. Like I'm saying, some of the biggest points in Drake's career is not aligned with the rapper that you're speaking about. So the contributing factors of those things are far too great for me to disregard them. The whole Quentin Miller project does not align with a Talib Kweli type common rapper. It just doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Then you take a look at the project where he's with the Bad Boy Skepta and gigs in London. None of that aligns with that type of character. So I'm saying to you, for him to be in the trajectory or the place that you would imagine him to be today, without those, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
The reason why I say this, before the super bad boyism stuff, he had Take Care with Rihanna, which was huge. He had the True Love.
Take Care of Rihanna was not huge. Huge.
Are you going mad? At the time, this rhythm here,
God's plan is huge. God's plan was huge. That's Crew. I will say Crew's huge.
Bro,
he doesn't even play at 8 shows now.
Bro, take away from what you like and the places that you were in.
Fair enough.
This was a mass at the time.
I didn't go out and hear it. I'll say that. I didn't go out and hear it.
That's not the point. You're missing my point. The point is, forget about us and what we listen to.
Yeah.
I'm saying, at a point where he was going within his authenticity, he was gone. It was when he started doing the bad boyism thing where everything started to come into a bit of question now, especially now with all of the contributors and stuff, we're looking at it. But this here, as far as I'm concerned, is still, where he's at this part here, he's still a slight ascendance of Talib and them, man.
All right, so I'm gonna say it again. No one's. Obviously, it's not enough time, so I'm being a bit harsh. But these things that you're showing me, one, he doesn't play today. He doesn't perform those things today, so they didn't stand the test of time. So that proves that mechanic there wouldn't have helped him today.
But the reason why he doesn't perform them is because he's on some rude boy thing.
Exactly, and I'm saying to you that has taken such a huge impact in the way people look at Drake that I don't know how you can unsee it and say, without that, he's here. It's impossible. Without battling Meek Mill, battling Pusha T. Like, without these battles...
he was doing before? He was battling Meek.
Yeah, but before that, Chuckie...
I don't think the Meek Mill ascended him.
His biggest fan base is Gyal. Yes or no? Yeah. So if you're a rude boy... Your fan base, more time as a black man, is going to be more dedicated to you than the black man that's soft. If I take a look at all the black guys that are rude boys over the years, there's some of them are not even that good looking, but because they're rude boys, they have a big crowd of people. Cool. So Drake would have got to a point as a light-skinned soft guy where it would have been like, So
he would have just been commercially famous and not respected within our team.
But Chuckie,
100% in my mind.
But exactly. So I'm saying for him to be as big as he is today, I'm paying homage to culture.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I think you're talking about respect.
No, I'm not. I'm saying the biggest rapper in the world is big because of culture. If I take the culture away, he's not the biggest rapper in the world. The reasons why I know that has to be a fact: J. Cole stepped out of the clash straight away. Why is Drake really, really concerned? Because they're trying to say he's not involved in culture. Has that been detrimental to his brand so far? Yes, it has in this short space of time. So imagine we was aware of that in 2014 up until now. There's no way I can only speak for myself and the podcasts I've been watching in terms of the respect they have for Drake, there is no way they have that. So his position couldn't be the same, Chuckie.
I don't believe that Eminem was the biggest rapper in the world because of culture. I think he was the biggest rapper in the world because of he was attached to elements of culture with Dr. Dre and whatever else here. Yeah. Do you remember that there was them racist tapes that came out that no one talks about. Remember them?
I
Did you remember them from the 90s where he was doing X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
But he had a privilege.
Okay, what's
he
his
had a privilege, and he tapped into that privilege.
What's his privilege?
He's a white guy rapping, and he can. To be honest with you,
Relatability to white people.
of course.
And how? One second, because Chuckie thinks he's making the point. Maybe he is, but he's relatable to white people. Yes or no?
Yes.
How much does it cost to look like Eminem? How much would it cost? If I said to mummy in whatever 2001, I want to look like Eminem, how much is that going to cost me? How much does a white t-shirt cost? Blue jeans. You're talking about a machine you cannot compare to Drake. Drake needs black people forever. Eminem needs them for a time. When he's with us, he's cussing Elton John. The moment he leaves us, he's on stage playing piano with him. So I'm saying to you, you can't do that as Jay-Z. Because then Future goes, in the streets I got more respect than Jigga. Then people start questioning that. So I'm saying, when it comes to culture, there are things that you need. So if you are big and culture's been a contribution, if I take that away from you, you won't be where you are. Because that's positioned you where you are. Now, if you make your journey over there without culture, then of course you never needed it. Taylor Swift, I can tell you, maybe there's a way I can justify it. Taylor Swift is not Taylor Swift today without that Kanye West moment. 100%.
No, she's not. She's not.
She's not without it, because culture.
In fact, you're right, actually. To who? But wait, let me. Yeah. Do you know what? I actually don't even agree with that. I think for a moment.
No.
But anyway, look. I don't even want to
say. Keep speaking about her. You know, I'm asking you right now because there's been loads of other Taylor Swifts in the past. Show me the other Taylor Swift, barring Madonna, who clearly use culture as well. I'm saying to you, when you attach culture to anything, it can even be the pride culture, like with gay people. They have struggles, everything over the course of time. So when you speak about it, that music is attached to moments, it's attached to so much, it lives forever. Culture makes things live forever. What I'm saying to you is, Drake without culture can't live forever. He cannot, it's impossible. So there's no way he's as big as he is, because part of him being as big as he is... Is there one black experience? Is culture.
Is there one black experience?
According to Drake, no, of course not. There's multiple. He's explored all of them, and that's why he is where he is.
So my point being, I'm not saying that he doesn't need black people.
I'm not saying you're saying that.
Well, you just mentioned it in your rebuttal.
Because you're saying that he's being as big as he is, but I'm like, no, he wouldn't.
But
I'm
not saying that he wouldn't. I'm not saying that he would be big without black people. I'm saying he would still need an element of the culture to do that and to be attached to it, because he was ascending. I'm saying I don't necessarily think that. I think we take away a lot of his catalogue if he's not around these, man. I think if we take away a lot of Future, we take away a lot of Rick Ross, and we do. Then we take away elements of stuff that we might particularly like. But I do think that he puts a catalogue together with contributors and still has an element of the black culture that he used to say that he liked, and still creates those big moments. Whether they're cool or not is a different thing. Whether we still have a Stay Scheming, or whether we still have some of them other rhythms with Future, that we really like, is a separate thing. Yeah, those are things that we like. But do I believe that he, as a rapper, uses elements of black culture, elements of the things that he says that he likes, alongside contributors, and creates big records? Yeah. We just might not look at him as the guy. Yeah. I genuinely believe that.
With culture, I think we're having two different conversations. With Taylor Swift, she can be really, really, really big because she looks like so much people in America. There are so much Eminem can be really, really big. He looks like so much people in America. Drake does not look like so much people in America. So what he does is he does cosplay to loads of different roles, and then he ends up looking like so much people in America. So I'm saying those, because music's content today. So all of those beneficial factors are such a huge contributing factor to Drake being big today. Without it, there's no God's plan. There's none of this. Because that audience that he's saying that to is not going to be there. You cannot do God's plan for a Caucasian audience. They don't even believe in God anyway, half of them.
Hey, so big man.
I'm not being harsh there, but you can't do that. It doesn't get there.
But God's plan far exceeded our thing.
God's plan is him in Miami, in the hood in Miami, giving out a bag of people money in the hood. That is only allowed because he's in the culture. And if he's not in the culture and he's not a part of it, he's not. Jack Harlow has never gone Miami and just given out money. And that guy from 2013.
I don't think the video solely bust that though.
My God, did you not see what happened in Toronto? I'm not saying it's solely busted, but did you see what happened in Toronto?
Yeah, what happened?
Do you know what the concept of the video was, right?
When he was giving out all that money.
He got money, a budget from a record label. Yeah. Remember, I love these types of things. And I'm speaking for the people that are on the net who really sell stuff. Remember, you've seen from this Kendrick Lamar Drake stuff, us nerds on the net really make things go. If it was just left to the music, we don't need radio. If we don't need radio, it's not just left to the music. That's number one. So the thing I'm saying to you right now is all the things that Drake does to decorate his songs, if he doesn't have them decorations, that naked tree is not where it is today. I promise you, bro. God's plan is I got the budget for the music video and I'm going to give all the donations to the hood. And everyone looks at it and ignorantly, because no one knows where Drake's from, and goes, oh my God, he's giving back to his people. But then Toronto go, why are you not giving it to us? Every minute the 6 is 6 is 6 is 6, but you're giving it to Miami. And I can say to you, Skepta would never get a video like that and just give it to Ladbroke Grove. It just wouldn't be in his nature. He would give it to Tottenham.
No,
do you understand where I'm coming from? So my whole thing is, Drake recognizes these decorations are important. So he tries to just be a part of everyone's decorations. But I'm saying the part that lets me know you would never be this big is because the people that just stay with their own decorations have got so big, whether it be New York, Atlanta, whatever, and then they collaborate with their decorations, someone else's decorations, we make it bigger. You have to literally, you have nothing in Canada, no disrespect. In the 6, there is no story, there is nothing. So your story is literally built off everyone else's story, and then you attach that to your music and we go, wow, you're so big. But essentially, my nigga, without that, no one gives a shit. I'm not saying you're not big, I'm not saying you don't, but you're not as big as you are today. There's no way. There's no internet stories. There's no gal. There's no nothing. There's just if you,
do you know what though?
Let me.
I hear that. I still think he does it.
I don't.
I still think he does
don't
it.
Believe
I still think the machine puts things in place for him to still be able to do it. It will look different, but I just think that Lucian Grange, that whole setup, that whole thing there, they would create something within that to make him because he has a privilege.
What, to manipulate me or to manipulate you?
To manipulate the people, he's already manipulated everyone anyway. Well, a lot of people anyway.
He's manipulated everyone because he's had access to culture. I'm saying without that access to culture, there's no way you can manipulate me. Because you're not standing next to anyone for me to go, oh my God. But I don't think it's just me. Like I said, if my sentiment is shared by so much people in hip hop, maybe not.
But I'm talking about transcending the element of hip hop.
But in order to transcend hip hop, you have to live in hip hop, Chuckie. You can't.
But
just
he's never lived in it though.
But he lived in it how? Through this stuff. So I'm saying to you, if he does exactly, he doesn't have the opportunity, Chuckie. Where does he elevate from?
But this is the thing, yeah. There's still more sides of hip hop than just this, though.
What do you mean?
There's still the other side. I keep going back to the side of hip hop that Talib Kweli and them exist.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he could still do it within that route
and not be big now, because there's no example of it.
Do you know what, Poe? We'll never know.
We'll never know, but I'm saying to you, I have an accurate, because all the people that he's tied himself with are the biggest rappers and are still the biggest rappers now. So it leads me to believe he clocked, if I want to be up here, those are the people I got to be around. If he felt that over here he can be around there, him and Kanye West would have stayed there. Kanye left them and Drake left them.
I just think he done it from a point of credibility as well. And I think that was why we looked at him as credible. I think he does it the other way. He ascends still, but he's just not credible. That's the point that I'm making. I think he could still do it. He still could have done it. We just would not have looked at him in this period of time as credible for all the years that we did. And we all did at some point look at this Don as a credible guy. Until the references came out.
He became do like Microsoft adverts and stuff like that.
Huh?
Like, what's Talib Kweli doing? And it's not me disrespecting them. I know they are doing their thing.
Of course.
But when you talk about the number one rapper in the world, none of them, lyrically, they might be close. We can never. Common's pen's ridiculous. I can never doubt Common's pen, and I can never doubt Drake's pen. Drake's pen is stupid. He writes stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy, bro. But in terms of positioning, because I know how important it is.
Scrap Talib Kweli in them? It's not even.
You're just talking about
I'm using them as an example.
Yeah, I know.
Because his direct example, really, if anything, is Kanye West. Kanye West has done all of what he's done and ascended to the place that he has ascended. You made a really good point in like the place in which Kanye comes from in regards to his depth.
Yeah.
And Drake don't have that. But what Drake does have is a big inspiration, an inspiring aspect of what Kanye has done. And the way that this game works is you're always going to get these people that will kick off a certain door, yeah? So let's say, for example, Talib Kweli and all them did what they needed to do for they needed to do what they needed to do for maybe let's say Kanye to be able to go and do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
There's other elements of that too, because obviously it was part of the rock and whatever, but there was all these doors that needed to get kicked off. Yeah. This route, Drake chose to go here, there, which you're talking about. Yeah. But I still believe that this door that Kanye had kicked off and that route that he was going in that point and which we were looking at, he would have been able to use his privilege and ascend within that. We just would not have looked at him as credible.
No, because Kanye's not. No, see Kanye.
Look at what Kanye has done and the places that he's touches and the people. You get what I'm saying?
You look at Kanye and you
The
can
difference
make
is that he
sense
produces.
of it. Like it's not that like whether I agree with it or not,
Yeah.
but it's not nonsensical. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's strategic all the time. It looks like certain things just happen by accident. It looks like sometimes he made a decision an hour ago and he's gonna do
And it just
this,
worked out.
and it's. You look at enough of his career, I think most people can say that.
Yeah.
Drake's thing is too seamless. And then the moment there's a malfunction, you notice they do the David Beckham, there's no response. Whereas everybody else in culture, we live to respond. What did that guy say? I'm jumping on Twitter. What did that guy say? I'm jumping on my phone. What did that guy say? Nothing strategic like that. So when I take a look at this guy, I'm like, do you know when the strategy doesn't work? When the culture goes, Apart from that, you're just going to transcend. You're just going to keep lying to people, keep manipulating people. But the truth of the matter is, if Planet Hip Hop was if it was a planet and there was all of these countries, Drake, you are a UFO. And because that is the case, and you show no respect to that, there's no way I'm going to believe the alien is going to be the most popular human. He will be the most popular alien once everyone identifies he's an alien. But if he comes over and manipulates himself and then stands with these people and then stands with them people and then with them people, I'm like, oh, he's just one of the cool brothers. Oh shit, this nigga is in Men in Black. This is nonsense. And like when you find it out, you go, I never would have had this thought process unless you done that. So for you to have done that, you wanted to manipulate my thought process because you know if you tried to transcend as something else, you wouldn't have me. But I don't believe I am the only person on planet Earth that thinks like that. I believe there's multiple people.
He cares about being cool. But
whatever the reason is, it's not based upon the principles of hip hop. So now you're going to lose hip hop because you didn't go against the principles. Right. So if you lose hip hop and you're a rapper, how can you be the number one? Like it's gonna be impossible because none of us will have validated you. You're still gonna make numbers. I'm still reckon Simon Webb from Blue made numbers. Shout out Simon Webb, my guy. Showed me bare love, but you was rapping, and I don't think that we loved you because you was a rapper. You're just out here doing your thing.
Listen, up to a certain point,
Drake isn't Simon Webb though. That's harsh.
Up to a certain point, he hadn't lost anyone. He lost he lost people at a certain point. I'm saying, as he was in this certain point, had he have stayed within his authenticity, and he would have, because again, I believe his authenticity isn't this cool shit, and there is other elements within this black experience that maybe aligned a little bit more with him. And in that, you add that with being authentic, being with these man, being inspired by Kanye and whoever else, which we understood you was with, adding contributors to that too, adding the contributing element to that too, as well as this industry that we have here that already looked at him as a golden child. I think he makes big hits. I think he flies. I just don't think that we look at him as a credible Don. And you know what the maddest thing is? He gets himself in less trouble that way.
100%. So then
he gets himself in less trouble because we will already see it for what it is.
But then he's not big in this culture no more. Hip hop is built upon controversy, it's counterculture, there's problems, there's all of the things in the black experience. If you don't show us that, then you can't be a part of this black experience. It's not part. It doesn't mean you're not black. There's loads of black experiences. There's Afro beats. There's bare different things. You've chosen to do this. You didn't grow up in it. You've chosen to do it, and then you've seen several things that happen within it and tried to plan it out yourself. It's too strategic, Chuckie. And I'm like, without that strategy, how can you? I feel like what I'm saying is based upon more.
I know exactly what you're saying. I'm just saying
that.
See, when you say that it's too strategic, I think that you can still be too strategic on another side. I don't think that one strategy just goes. True. I don't think that one strategy just is linear. It's just one. I think that strategy can also go this way. The only problem is I can't back that because we ain't seen it yet. But one day we're going to see it though. One day someone's going to do it.
Do you know when strategy, I feel when you have strategy and culture and you're fine when you're from it. Right. Because you've already, without writing down, preempted the things that can go wrong. So if me and you threw a rave around the corner or something like that and there was beef afterwards, me and you would never be like, oh my God. But someone from Northampton throws the rave around the corner and and they were like, oh my God. I would never be like, why are you saying oh my God? Because I'm like, I get it. You're not from this, so boom. But if it happens to us, I'm not saying we'll be happy, but we'll be able to adapt and move forward. 100%. Whereas they won't be able to adapt. And when I've seen Drake come to Pusha T, you can't adapt.
Nah.
You don't know this type of heat.
Nah, but
when Kendrick said what he said, you went on Angie Martinez and said it was a bit of harsh words. And then when I see Styles P and I see Dave East talk about it, they're like, when they heard that, they're thinking, bro, that's what it's always been.
But to be fair,
so
though,
that means you come in late.
Yeah, but how
and now
do you
think it's from here?
I hear what you're saying about the Pusha thing, yeah.
It's all facts.
But I do think that he was putting up a decent fight until the information came out.
I'm not saying he wasn't putting up a decent fight, but I've watched battle rap where man have put man's baby mum and all of that on screen. So I'm saying if that's where the rap beef stems from,
did they lose?
It can't. Did they lose? They got their ass kicked, big man.
There you go then.
My saying is, if that's where rap beef stems from, and I know those are the possibilities, I can't get into rap beef and go, imagine I went onto Ladbroke Grove High Street and there's a bag of youths, hoods up, on crud, and they go, yo, where's the strap? I'm never gonna go, oh my God, how dare they have I've seen Top Boy. I know what's happening. So now, if you trying to tell me, Drake, this situation happens to you and you go, oh my God, I can't believe you said these things. It's like, how long have you been here? 5 years? 20 years? When has it been anything different? Did you listen to Ifa? On Ifa, I was looking for the song. How do I find the diss track to Jay-Z? Boom, boom, boom. I was like gunshots. Boom, boom, boom. Fuck Jay-Z. Well, here we are. Like, that is how they started a diss track, and you are telling me the Control verse was harsh. That sounds like a visitor to me. To me. That's to me. And I'm wearing shorts and fucking penny loafers, and it sounds like a visitor to me.
Have you got any howlers quick?
Do you know what, Drake? Do you know what I'm going to give a howler to? And I wish we had more time to talk about it, Chucks. This top 100 list from Apple Music is something I really want to have a talk with you. And I think we should do it at a later date. I've seen people do it. But I still want to talk about it. Because, I mean, I was going to highlight some of the things that I liked about the list. But then I realised there wasn't much. And I just felt like I don't get the list because there are songs in our, in the culture of hip hop and stuff like that are not placed as high as they're placed within this situation, but they're there. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what's going on?
When I saw the list, do you know what the maddest thing is? I watched a quick interview with Zayn and Usher, and Zayn had said, something about Confessions being, like, he introed it by saying, yo, I've got Usher with me. Yeah, we just talked about Usher being 97 in the 100 albums ever or whatever. And I thought, what? What is he talking about? And I saw in Usher's face, he was a bit taken aback by it or whatever. And I was a bit surprised. I didn't even know what he was talking about. Yeah. It's only until maybe about a week later, I started realizing, Apple have done a whole list, of all albums. Yeah. And my first question was, how do you compare like an Usher album to a Madonna album? Or like, how would you compare like a Kendrick album to a Taylor Swift album? Like, how do you do that? How do you get there?
Because in my mind,
I could personally only do that myself within my own emotional connections to albums. I could do that myself, but I couldn't put 100 albums together of what I believe is the best albums, the top 100 albums ever, and be comparing them like that. That just sounds nuts to me.
And for me, like,
that's a ball ache. Music
to me needs to stand the test of time. It still needs to be something that either music should represent Chuckie, tell me if you think you agree with this, because I'm saying it in my mind. I've got to make sure I agree with it myself. It's one of those situations where I feel like music has to represent a time and be a fantastic representation of a time, or it has to stand the test of time.
Right.
So I feel like, and Mitch had to slap me in my face, not physically, but I believe he goes gym, so there's definitely he has the capacity to do it.
Hold on.
Sorry. I know.
Seat at the table is higher than
Bro, I'm fuming. Bro.
That's bonkers.
It's bollocks. Bro, Lauryn Hill's album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, is definitely one of my favourite albums of all time. If not my favourite album of all time.
Where is that?
It's number 1.
What?
Bro.
Of albums of all time.
And guess what it be? And it's only when Mitch had to really break it down to me. Thriller's number 2. Now, I love Lauryn Hill. Respectfully. I love Lauryn Hill. And this is more Mitch's point than it is mine. Because Mitch had to really say, poet, listen to what I'm saying. I've just played Thriller right now in the car. Like, it can't be better than Thriller. It just can't be better than Thriller. It can't be better than Thriller. Lemonade by Beyonce is number 10. Lemonade.
Hold on 1 second. I need to.
Am I going crazy? What's Going On by Marvin Gaye is 17, but Beyonce's Lemonade album is 10.
I don't even want to do this, but I have to do it.
I love Beyonce, by the way, because I don't want the beehive coming after me, boy. Because you know what? If I get stung, I'ma look.
Okay.
Bruv.
Let me just do this quick. And this is no shade on this album because I love this album, yeah. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Exodus is 46.
Let me just read the songs off this, yeah. There's the intro, Lost Ones, X Factor, To Zion, Do Wop, Superstar, Final Hour, When It Hurts So Bad, I Used to Love Him, Forgive Them Father, that's a rhythm. Every Ghetto, Every City, Nothing Even Matters.
Best song of all time, or my favorite song of all time. If I die, make sure you play that. Nothing Matters.
Everything Is Everything. Rhythm. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Crazy.
Can't Take My Eyes Off You. Tell Him.
Now just go to Thriller.
Wait.
Thriller is ridiculous.
Wait.
Thank you, Mitch, by the way. Go to Thriller.
Wanna Be Starting Something.
What?
Be My Baby.
What?
The Girl Is Mine.
What?
Thriller.
Pardon?
Beat It.
Pardon?
Billie Jean.
Come on.
Human Nature.
Whose nature?
PYT.
Pardon?
Lady in My Life.
I ain't even got one. Chuckie. Are you crazy?
I can't believe. Honestly, and I say this with all due respect, that album is nowhere near Thriller.
You know, Thriller might be
nowhere near.
Thriller might be flawless.
It's nowhere near.
Thriller might be one of the best bodies of work ever placed together in terms of, let's give you hit after hit after hit, and you want to talk about standing the test of time. What it done at the time, I've spoken to my mum about all the time.
God.
I said to my mum, what did Thriller do at the time? The things that my mum tells me Thriller does. Man, man fainting for this nigga.
Yeah.
Fainting.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't even come on stage yet. You're just seeing pyrotechnics. Donnie comes up like this.
Yeah.
Y'all drop into their knees, big man.
And also, you know what? To add elements to this, which I would have thought that they might have done, which is why I think this would be difficult to do anyway, is there's other contributing factors that need to be placed in this. It's
such as?
How did this translate live? Look at what Michael Jackson was doing within his live show. This Don was flying out of stadiums, bro.
Do you know what? And
he was flying out of stadiums.
Like Dan said, quoting Dan, what's that show you? The bikinis. What they show you is interesting. What they don't show you is equally as interesting. Now, you know one thing that stats don't show you? The time.
Yeah.
The feeling, the time. You just had to be there. I can't even imagine the time of Thriller.
Can I see the top 10?
Oh, can I do a little countdown top 10 just so we have the people at home to. So as Chuckie's looking for it, Chuckie, I'm going to give you Beyonce with Lemonade. Came out in 2016. And
Lemonade is better than Confession.
I don't even want to get into it.
Crazy.
Nirvana,
crazy.
Never mind. And that's a good album. I have listened. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black is an amazing album. Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City, an amazing album.
Can I just stop you here?
This shouldn't be.
Read the next one,
bro.
Go on.
I can't.
How do you compare?
Let me tell you something, yeah? Frank Ocean, Blonde is not even better than Channel Orange. This is facts.
Blonde is hard, though.
Blonde's not better than Channel Orange. Give me 5 songs you like on Blonde. It's an album, bro. You're talking about nostalgia.
And you know what? He needs to
Pyramids. Thinking About You. Sierra Leone. Come on, my brother. I can go on. What are we doing here? This brother had people screaming, whether they were gay or straight. Running through my mind, boy. Give him top 10. About.
You know what? I actually hear that argument.
Blonde is not better than Channel Orange. What are we doing here? Blonde, yeah? No, Blonde is sick. Don't get it twisted, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the track list here. Blonde is cold.
Blonde is cold, but you see Blonde.
Maybe I had a little bit of recency bias because I've been listening to that a lot recently, but Channel Orange is a madness.
But
how do you compare Wait, go up. How do you compare, I don't know, songs in my life with Blonde? Songs in the key of life.
And
by
bro,
Stevie Wonder and Blonde. How do you do that?
I listened to that Prince album, yeah?
Purple Rain.
God forgive me, yeah? Prince is crazy.
Bro.
This guy was writing, arranging, producing, like, this guy done everything. That's why him and Michael Jackson used to go back to back on some Drake and Kendrick stuff. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out who is who in that equation, though. Because Prince is really out here, but so is Michael Jackson.
Symbol.
But the Beatles being number 3, obviously, you know my thing, not for me.
Even compared, like, how did you get here?
Do you know who's not in the top 100? And it just doesn't make no sense to me.
Go on.
No.
Future.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Not in the
Maybe in the future.
Future's got a couple albums that should be there. Future's got better albums than Beyonce.
This is a mess.
Furthermore, Future's in there because Beyonce done Drunk in Love. Future song. It's a mess, bro. It's a mess, man.
This has to be a statistics thing.
All right, am I biased when I say you see the impact a music has on the world? Surely that should play a part. Sure. So you see Exodus.
I just need to check something.
What Exodus done for Jamaicans?
Wait, hold on a minute. Where's Bob Marley?
46.
Oh my God.
Do you understand where our problem is? How can
so
Exodus
crazy.
be 46? I've listened to Exodus so much recently purely because I went to go and watch the film. I don't understand how Bob Marley was tall and had an English accent on the bus. But, bro. Chuckie, we need to... Chuckie, do you know what we might need to do?
This is mental.
Should we dissect
Wait, hold on
it?
a minute.
I'll
Wait.
listen to every album.
Understand this as well. Some of the rhythms on this as well, bro.
Ridiculous, go true.
Waiting in Vain, Turn the Lights Down Low, Three Little Birds, One Love, Natural Mystic is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite songs ever in life. Exodus.
Yeah, outrageous this one.
Movement of Ja people. Are you nuts, bro?
And also what that, like, you know, you'd have to sit down and speak with certain people about that because that was there. But what that album did at that time and what Bob Marley was doing at that time.
There's a film.
It's not even, you can't even have a, like, there's no way that Lauryn Hill album is anywhere even near that.
Remember, I think...
Maybe even make a... Wait, what Blueprint album did it say was there? Blueprint 2?
No, of course not. No, not Blueprint 2.
No,
One. Did you hear Kanye West's verse on Blueprint 2? On The Bounce?
I don't remember.
They should have thrown away the bloody project because of that alone.
I don't see a Taylor Swift song or album.
Usually 1989's there, or 19 whatever's there.
Better than any of this.
Yeah, but...
No, I don't know. I can't do that.
I'm not around. I'm not outside with her.
No, but watch
One
this.
thing I will tell you is she's a guy out here.
Bro, she's not a joke.
She's cold. I'm not saying
Brother,
She's a guy out
but
here.
you know how bad it is though?
That's my point. Like, how do you compare them? If
That's
you're
what-
not outside, like, I mean, obviously they must be saying that they are, but
I spoke to my sister. My sister's a Taylor Swift fan. And my sister loves music. Proper. But she's into like a different... She likes bands.
yeah.
And she told me straight, Po, the moment Taylor Swift just started talking to everyone, I'm just not really in it no more. She goes, before, Taylor Swift was like a specific girl talking to a specific group of people, but everyone just happened to be listening. She's like, now, she's just trying to make everyone happy. She goes, I kind of clocked out.
I could be wrong in saying this, yeah, but I do feel like part of me disagrees with that purely because I went to the O2 Arena to go and see one of my favorite bands called
1980.
how the fuck have I forgot their name?
1987, 1985.
You give me God the same thing. I don't know what the words are. Ooh,
1975. That's it. 1975. I went to go see them. So anyway, she came out, yeah. I said this here as well. She came out as a surprise guest, yeah, and she sang a couple of rhythms. I don't even really know these rhythms, yeah. But the one thing that I did notice is in her playing the guitar and singing these songs, every single person in... This is when I felt like a massive visitor, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking back, everyone knows every bar. I don't know shit. I just know 1975's lyrics and that's that. I don't really check for it like that, innit? Yeah. Not that I don't like her, I just don't... It's not my thing. But she did something that was so subtle that made me think, okay, it feels like there's like a nice connection between her and these people because she's playing the guitar and then like she's still playing after she's finished the bars and she's like talking to them. But the way she's talking to them, it felt like I was personally watching her talking to her brothers and sisters.
But you know why though? She's been getting sympathy vote for too long now, man. And I'm sure she's
I think
talented.
she's good though.
I'm not saying she's not good, but I'm saying a lot of that relationship is built upon what Kanye West did, man. And do you know what? Well done. Credit to her. I rate her. She's sick. You've done your thing. But a part of me with Taylor Swift, I just got to be honest.
He shouldn't even have done
Who
that.
cares? When I listen to Taylor Swift music, I'm just like, who? Like, when I take a look at World Matters and you have the chance to pick up a pen and write something, and I just think, Taylor Swift, who cares? Like,
but it's
no,
just not your,
I can
it's
think
not your
that.
thing.
And I can.
She'll probably say the same about Future.
But she wouldn't. Because I've seen her dance to Future. So you watch your mouth. I'll give you a mirror.
I'll give you a mirror. Hey, I go. I need to get a tune. All right, listen. Have you got anything else quick?
No, just
wait.
that. What happened?
Shout somebody out quick. Wait, did I write them down? Did I write it down? Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Very quickly.
Go on.
Bro?
What happened?
I realised we're not having a conversation about something we should be having a conversation about very quickly. No. And I clocked it the other day when I was at R&B and Slow Jams. We don't talk about this enough. We talk about something that he does, you know, been outside for a long time, done radio, DJs at every party and all these type of things. But we don't talk about this aspect enough. I'm talking about Manny Norte.
I knew you was.
Do you know what we don't talk about? We don't talk about how cold this guy dresses.
I've said this from day. I said it
Big
from early.
Manny, I saw him. He came to R&B. I've seen it a few times. But a few times I'm saying to myself, hold on a minute. Wait, where did you get that from? That's cold. Where did you get them think like? And everything just drops. And then the colours as well. The way that he like. The way that he puts the colours together, I said to myself, hold on a minute.
Ask Manny about time I tried to get him into the little fashion world. And
Is it?
I've got plans for Manny in my mind, you know.
Serious?
Yeah, I've always had plans. I'm like, this guy dresses too well and represents a group of people that think you can't do it.
Yeah.
But you can.
He dresses cold, bro.
Look at him.
Bro, he dresses cold.
He looks like he's going to link Malcolm
Let me
X.
see if he's got...
You shouldn't wear that. Wait, can I say something though?
Go on.
That outfit, you can't wear that to a Disney.
Keep going. Go
Unless they're showing Wakanda.
Hold on, let me see if he's even putting anything down there. Keep going. He's not even showing it properly.
I'll be honest with you though, Manny's stopped making an effort like he used to. At one point, I might even say during COVID, Manny Norte was going crazy.
Even
at one point,
look at the hat with the socks and
Manny Norte was going crazy at one point. And Manny Norte, I can be honest with you, you slowed down a bit for my liking.
Is it?
I would like the pace upped again.
Strongly.
I like that.
Right.
Manny, this separates you from everybody else. You already got the smile.
Manny,
you already got the laugh. You've already got the music knowledge and the fantastic human person you are. But I'm talking about before you open your mouth and say a damn thing, show them you are too well dressed.
Brother, listen. Go. Till next time, yeah? Thanks for listening, everyone.